Yo, yo. Whew. Okay. All right, I think we got everything working. Are you guys able to hear me okay? What's up, Panaverse? Yeah, I don't know if you guys are able to hear me okay. You can let me know. Let me check it on my phone real quick. Yes, good audio? Wow, good. Okay, I wouldn't say good audio. That a lot of people here are literally like screaming. And there's a lot of people drinking, a lot of people getting a little rowdy here. So they're having the debates upstairs, and so they're. I don't know if you guys saw. We posted the links to the debates in the Discord a while ago, and so you can see who all's debating right now. I think Admiral Gibbs is moderating a debate between two people, and it's about like, yeah, it's a lot of background noise. Yeah, it's a lot of background noise, and if I don't yell, then you can't really hear me. All of my mics, like I have mics here, I have everything set up. It's just not. It's not working out. There's apparently with my laptop, they don't update the drivers for it anymore. They just don't update them anymore. That's that. And so there's not much you can do about it. It is a very sucky situation with the fact that none of the drivers update now. So let me make sure you guys can hear me okay. None of the drivers update now. So let me make sure. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be better options than this, but there's none that I can think of right now. So but yeah, the drivers won't update, and then on top of that, there's some issues with the plugs being able to fit with the other plugs on here, and so yeah, I'm not able to get all the plugs in. But we got a bunch of people here. We'll probably have some people coming over a little bit later to talk to us. Just trying to get stuff set up for right now. I don't debate for another like 3 hours. It's 4 hours. Okay, I keep looking at my time. I still have everything set up in Eastern time. We're in Central time, so we're everything. I'm not debating until 8 o'clock, and so we'll go and do that a little bit later. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched any of what was there, but they had some audio issues earlier, and we're struggling with it for a while. So we might end up fixing the audio issues on theirs in between debates. But yeah, right now, not doing great. Cool jacket, thank you. This is my tomfoolery jacket. Alex from Mantis bought this for me for my birthday and shipped it to me. So I got my official Tomfoolery jacket. It's pretty slick. It's got the mesh on here and everything. So, and then it's actually really hot in here. So I got the old Tomfoolery show, the Tomfoolery podcast shirt on under. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do about the mic issue. I'm kind of at a loss there. So yeah, might try to work on that a little bit later. I'm pretty sure I can just drive to the Airbnb that we're staying at. It's only like 3 minutes away, and I probably have extra cords there. So I'll go check on that a little bit later, and we'll see. A fire alarm? Yeah. I didn't see the fire alarm. But yes, we have a fire alarm. We have a lot of people here right now. So you can see everybody's kind of hanging out. There's a bunch of food and a bunch of people eating right now. I haven't eaten yet, so I'll probably grab some food here in just a little bit. I met Fabian Liberty just a little bit ago. I forget the other guy's name. If you guys remember, I debated a guy a while ago on the Carmelo Anthony issue on Fatty panel. I can't remember his name, but I met him just a little while ago as well. So let me turn this down. So yeah, we got some people who are probably coming over and hanging out a little bit later. Fabian still exists, yes. He still exists. All right, give me just a second. I totally forgot I left my Red Bull upstairs in the fridge and some stuff in my car. So I'm going to go grab that. I'll be like 30 seconds and I'll be right back. They're so obnoxious, yes. Yeah, they're very loud. But give me just a second. Okay, I just realized I have the cord. I think I have it. So give me just a second. I think I have it.
You're going to debate this guy and the other
Yo.
I was like, oh, that guy looks just like Tomfoolery. I'm Mike Paul.
What's your name?
Mike Paul.
Mike Paul.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. We're on stream right now.
Oh, no.
Come fucking hang out, bro. We got 2 chairs.
No, I'm not in your lane.
Huh?
I'm not in your lane.
Nobody's supposed to be. We're just hanging out, bro. We're just talking to folks. Trying to get my mic set up. I'm having some mic problems here. So you can.
Well, good on you for showing up, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, apparently I'm the only lefty that showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's average debate enjoyer, and he says he's lefty, but he's really, I would assume that everything that he spews is more on the right. So.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, not everything.
I don't know who it is.
Not everything. You'll stand here, but yeah, he's. Yeah. Anyway, but cool, man. That's all. I was like, man, that guy looks just like Tomfoolery, and they're like, yeah, it is.
Bro, sit down. This is Mike Ball. What's up, man?
Josh.
Josh?
JS.
What's you in the chats ever?
In the chat, I'm in chats, yeah. I stream too.
Oh yeah? What's your name on?
JS Urban Adventures.
Oh nice, dude.
I watch some of your stuff.
Do you? We just started up stream over here. I'm trying to get my mic working though. I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, I think it's connected.
I thought everything to set up a stream too.
Yeah, I didn't know they were gonna have that much of a setup. He told me, he's like, bring your stuff, stream if you want, and there's no room for me to put anything else there.
Yeah, did you go up there and check it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought out the shit.
Okay, let's see. Sam's. Okay. Oh no, that's super quiet. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah.
There you go.
How's that,
Probably
guys?
pick up on these guys too, though.
Yeah. How's that? Is that better, guys?
Let us know.
Mic's not working. Oh, it's too loud?
Probably just picking up all them.
Yeah, I turned it down a little bit.
And they're also about to start the second debate or whatever, and more of them will go up there. That's awesome.
Is that better? Is the audio better? I can probably put the mic over on this side. I had this lamp on initially. It was way too loud. Or sorry, way too bright. Is that better? You guys?
Let us know how it sounds. Test.
You're fine? Okay. So if I'm remembering correctly,
Yeah.
Naomi messaged me a while ago and said that I banned you,
You did?
and I unbanned you.
You did?
Afterwards. So I'm fairly positive I mixed you up with a different mic.
Oh, I'm
and so
sure.
You did like troll a little bit one
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
And I just got pissed off.
Yeah. You were already. I think what had happened is during that time is you had actually, unfortunately, you were got in a tight position and you were kind of pissed off or whatever. And then I had come in with a sly comment, but not like attacking or anything. You know, I'm a YouTuber myself, so I'm not going to say anything that I can't or shouldn't say. And I'm a respectful person too, so I'm not going to go the length of some of these people. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, just like this, it's a small world. Meet each other in person. I don't know if I want to be known as that dickhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. I used to be a nut in the chat. Like when I first got on, I would say the most sarcastic shit of all time.
I believe it.
But YouTubers didn't know I was being sarcastic all the time.
Right.
So
they didn't read that.
Oh, they had the most.
They took it literal every
yes,
time.
They had the most random stuff. Like Sanso recently asked me, he's like, I heard that you're dating a girl, and I was like, yeah. He's like, so does that make you bi or like? Not like I was like, what do you mean? He's like, a while ago, like years ago, you had said that you were gay or something in my chat. And I was like,
you're like, dude, come on, man. You took it literal for real, and you held that shit for years, thinking that, you know. Listen, man, I've been on the internet since conception too, you know. So I mean, I've been through it, and I live stream now, and I still, I mean, just like you, probably get a ton of trolls that will come in, try to jeopardize what you're doing. And I've just gotten at the point where I barely even recognize them, you know. And sometimes, once in a while, I'll go off. But, you know, I don't even give them time of day, you know. At this point.
oh, I do.
Yeah, I've watched you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'll argue with people for a while, but it's more so like some people are just so dumb that you don't know if they're trolling or not.
Right.
And I know that like I used to be somebody who was actually so like ignorant, had no idea what I was talking about, to where I would argue things very confidently and was totally wrong the whole time.
Right.
And so but I do know that people would get pissed off with me and think I was fucking with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so after like now I do look back and think like if people had explained shit to me, I probably would have listened. But they would get pissed off too much. So I do. I try to be good faith.
No, you are. I mean, I gotta commend you because there's not a lot of people that will, from your side, you know, go heads up against most of the right. You know, and good on you for doing that. You know, I think that for the right and the left, people love echo chambers. You know what I mean? And so I really do appreciate that you're somebody that will go, hey, I don't agree with that, and I'm going to tell you why. I like that.
I feel like, and maybe it is my echo chamber, but I feel like it's the opposite. Like I talk about pretty regularly.
No, I watch your chat, dude. Like they're on top of you.
Well, I'm saying not that. I feel like there's a lot of left-wing debaters.
Sure.
Just like I feel like the zone is flooded with like lefty debaters and very few right-wing debaters. And so normally when people like when I'm doing call-ins from chatters will say, they're like, why don't you debate people who are on your level? Why are you debating fucking chatters? And I'm like, because there's nobody else. I've debated Rob Noor a million times. I've debated Andrew Wilson a million times. There's nobody else left. Like
it makes sense. I mean, especially for someone that's been doing it for real like you have, compared to a guy that's just getting into this whole arena now. Because this arena is getting bigger and bigger as we're watching.
It's actually getting smaller, bro.
Well,
so
is it?
Yeah, you were around like in the Twitch politics days?
No, so I was on Twitch, but I never was talking. Back then, I was live streaming video games. You know what I mean? So I didn't even get heavy into politics until about 2023. Yeah, so. But you've been around the block, you know, been doing and arguing with these people, and you've seen people come and go, I'm sure.
So I can't do much about the audio because of I can't speak real yes because apparently they don't have drivers.
They probably barely hear you when you're talking.
Let's try this. Okay, is that any better?
Let us know.
Yeah, let me know if this is any better. This I just turned off the background noise, and so it has a couple of settings on here that I can use. That is better.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Good dude. Yeah, it's cool, man. You know, it's funny. I tune into your show often, actually.
You rate pretty often too, right?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it.
No, it's I don't know, man. Like I just look at the current environment. I'm on the right. Okay, so that's me being honest, obviously. And the division tactics that are happening between, like, no matter how hardcore the quote unquote enemy is going to be, you need to be able to sit across from one another and talk.
Yeah.
If you can't even get to the point of talking, we have a serious issue. You know, and I'm not someone that's a debater or anything. I'm not. I don't go into philosophy and all that. I'm very like. That's why I show up for these guys, but I'm not debating. You know, I'm someone that's not my realm.
Really?
You know. Yeah.
So what do? Do you review stuff or?
So I basically report breaking news, world news, geopolitics, American politics. Yeah, and I break those stories.
Nice. Okay. So what's something that you've done?
I mean, I just live streamed this morning. I mean, we were talking about the end of the government shutdown and what comes with that. I mean, just the basic stuff that you are involved in yourself.
Okay.
So I really don't like. I just give the fact of what's happening. I'm not even.
So you don't break the news, but you go find like
Yes,
news
yes.
on websites.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah,
I should have said.
okay, I got you.
I should have said that. For the normal person, for what I do, I break news.
Yeah, I got you.
But for someone that's in the industry, correct. I source. I find all the sources I get. My whole lineup for the morning, and then I present the source. I don't care if they're left, right, in between at all.
So what did you think? I haven't looked into it, but a bunch of people have been telling me that there's. I swear, I really have not looked into it.
Sure. And maybe I haven't either. So I don't know.
There's apparently a bunch of letters and stuff being leaked over the last week.
Yeah.
Have you looked into that at all?
I have a little bit, but not an excruciating amount. So I'm just being honest. But what I have found is some regard to an email that Trump had basically said, stop doing that with these girls or something. Stop doing that. And so you recognize that Epstein is doing fuck shit, but he also kicked them out and said, ban them from that. So that's essentially what I have found. Okay. Now, if evidence changes, that's what my opinion.
Supposedly there was an email from Epstein to somebody else saying that what did he say? That he never had a membership, and that like Trump said he took his membership, but he never had a membership. He just hung out.
Interesting.
And that Trump knew the whole time. But even Trump talks about it as though he knew like something generally. Like he talks about like he stole one of my girls one time, and
right.
we had to talk to him, and then he did it again. And
see,
so
and this is deeper than I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I really haven't dug into that. Not an excruciating amount. I still report
like 3 months ago, Trump was on a plane talking about it, and somebody said,
I didn't catch that.
Like, did you know Virginia Guthrie? And he's like, yeah, that was the girl. She worked in the spa. He's like, and he took her. And when he took her, he's like, we had to go tell him, you don't take one of my girls.
Right.
You don't take my girls. He's like, but then he took another one, and so that's when we had to kick him out.
Interesting.
And so but that phrase, like, it's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, he's talking about workers. Like Virginia Guthrie went and worked for Epstein, and he was just poaching his workers. And so that's what he means. Right. You don't take his girls, but it's when it's Epstein, it's hard to know if that's what we're talking about or not.
Yeah, man. I think this whole thing is wild. I'm someone that is transparent. I just want whatever the information is at this point, just give it up. You know what I mean? It would just settle so much shit from both sides.
Yeah.
Just send it out at this point. People are like, oh, we gotta protect it. I mean, like, it's like, dude, at this point, it is such a problem.
Well, the thing that I wonder too, though, is I've seen so many people say the victims have also called for this stuff to be released.
Right.
But if that's the case, why haven't they released?
No
anything?
kidding.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
Right.
it feels like there's a couple of women
There has
that
to be
I've seen.
claim.
There's one chick, I can't remember her name or anything, but she's like kind of darker, looks like maybe Colombian or something. every time I see her, she's saying something fucking wild, like, and it just feels like she's just there to just like stir the fucking pot. Like it doesn't. And she's one of the girls who was like in a news conference saying like, they need to release this. They're protecting Epstein. Blah blah blah. It's like, why won't you? If you got something,
if you know something, have evidence of something, you gave something to your attorney, well then just fork that over. You know, if they're not going to do it, I mean, I can withhold that kind of information at that point. Be like, oh, here's the information, dude. You know, but I don't know, man. We live in a weird environment. Unfortunately,
the audio sounds fine. It's just the glare from Tom's head that's blinding.
Nice. Not the leg though, huh? Not the leg.
Where did that come from?
So I lost my leg in a motorcycle accident
Damn.
in March 6th of 2021.
I was gonna say I was guessing from the way that you're dressed, is BMX something.
Not well. Grew up in Southern California.
Okay.
Right. So I grew up in Long Beach, California. Was born and raised in Long Beach.
So I was gonna say either you're BMX or you're just from SoCal.
Yeah. And I was in BMX. I was in skateboarding. I was in snowboarding. I was doing all that stuff. Surfing. But I moved to Northern Alabama last year.
Okay.
So, yeah, I escaped. You know, I'm one of those guys. I mean, at this point, it wasn't even really the politics I cared about. I mean, even though I do, but the cost of living out there is dramatic. I mean, I'm paying $4,500 a month for rent. You know, here it is a quarter of that shit. You know, so I had to get out. I mean, I was going to go broke, and I essentially did.
Where are you living now? You're in Alabama.
Yep, I live in Pullman, Alabama.
Did you drive here?
I did. It's only 2 hours. 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's only 4 hour drive from this.
Oh wow. Okay. Right on. Yeah, because you're down there in Atlanta.
Yep. Pretty much 20 to 75.
Yeah.
So it's like 90.
I've been to Atlanta a few times, so I've done the drive in between where I cut states between Alabama and Georgia. I'm sure did you cut over to Alabama and go straight north, or did you cut?
No, I went straight through. 75 goes right through. Fuck, I forget the name. There's another city south of here in Tennessee that's really popular as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not from here, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a city that like it's also really popular for country music and all of that.
Oh, interesting.
I can't remember.
That's cool though.
But yeah, if I said it, you would know.
You're right.
You would know.
Or probably something like, well, Knoxville is not. That's east.
It's not Knoxville yet. I was surprised though, like when I found out, because I was telling them I was like, I'm gonna be here after 10, second traffic, so I'm gonna be late, and they're like, okay, cool. And then my time changed.
Oh yeah,
I messaged them back. I'm like, never mind.
You gained an hour.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna
be there.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna be there before 9. So I was on the phone with Mantis, and I was like, this is actually weird because Tennessee is between Georgia and New York. The Georgia and New York are Eastern time.
Weird.
This is Central time. She's like, yeah, there's like 4 cities in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That are all Central time.
Yep. I'm on the border of I mean, because I'm CST too, where I live, right? It's just directly south of here. And yeah, it's funny because just right over that way, you know, it's an hour difference, you know, and it's really close too. So
I'm trying to think. I think I have
another mic setup,
another tripod that I would just like click like here.
Oh, yeah, maybe
I can't think of what.
You could set just a.
Yeah, we were gonna go grab like a motorcycle to put them back here. Did you see them all?
No.
There's
I saw those, and they're all for sale.
Yeah, they have all those there, and then they have a couple more there. They have a bunch more back here.
So you were gonna roll a couple over here, dude?
Yeah, like we were just gonna put them in the background and just have something.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, ended up.
Well,
was in a little of a hurt.
I'm guessing you're not a biker, right?
No.
You never touch another man's motorcycle.
Yeah. But apparently, I mean, if you look at like the videos for it, because they sent me like the ad for this place and said like this is where we're streaming.
Oh, and they show
they show all the
like,
motorcycles
that's
all
cool.
over here. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
they don't just happen to be here.
Right. Gotcha. That's hilarious. But yeah, man, listen, I'm gonna go grab a beer and hang out.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for having me. By the way, thank you,
Yeah,
Tom Fuller, the chat. And hey, make sure before you leave or whatever, I'll make sure to hook up with you. I'll get your
Okay,
phone.
cool. Yeah. Later, man.
All right.
Appreciate you coming on. Okay. So yeah, I do think I have another. I think I had a couple more tripods. I'm pretty sure I left them somewhere else. Oh wait, you know what? I know what I can do. Okay, I got it. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That should be a little bit better. What are you guys fighting about in the chat?
That's right.
Yeah, this sounds good. Okay. Maybe have this, yeah, a little bit closer. Okay. Yeah, when I first sat over here, there was a lot of like natural light coming in, and so I had to change it. And I didn't bring my lights at all, so I probably should have. I probably should have brought some of my lights with me. Tell me why Band Red has people brigading me in other chats. How do they brigade you in other chats? How does that work? Yeah, yeah, it's been cool. Like everywhere I walk, like other people are coming up and saying, "Hey, Tomfoolery show." Why did I like? Wait, is that you, Tom? Like, so yeah. If you fast forward to the beginning of the stream, it's a lot better light. It's getting orange at this point, and I unplugged this light. Because this is what it looks like if I plug it in. So yeah, this is way too much.
What's going?
How's it going?
Streaming?
Yep. How you doing?
My people all sent me.
Nice. This is Beth, guys. We're in the Airbnb together. You want to introduce yourself?
That's me, you. My channel is Culture Corrections 315. It's a new channel. Run with Crucible, run with everybody pretty much.
What was the name of it?
Culture Corrections. And
Culture
then
Corrections.
Yep. And then they made me put numbers after it, so 315 it is. We do a lot of debate discussing. I've got friends on both sides within the panelverse, within the Crucible. I don't allow the drama. I want to talk about like the real shit that everybody fucking deals with on a, whether it's school districts or, what churches could do better for their communities and things like that. Take on the real social topics.
Okay. Do you do panels?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do open panels. People see me on panels for the most part though. I keep forgetting to share the stream to my channel because I'm still new with all of it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
share
when
the
I'm on
stream?
someone else's
Oh,
stream,
okay, yeah.
I forget to add it
To-
to my own channel.
You mean through StreamYard?
Yeah, through
Okay,
StreamYard.
yeah. I don't normally use StreamYard. I've tried using OBS. My computer's drivers are apparently out of date, and I can't do anything. Can't play games on it anymore. Can't stream on OBS anymore. So it's a little frustrating. Yeah. So I realized they have a new setting where you can just click add to your own channel now, and that's a fairly new setting that they have. So how long have you been like in the space?
I started watching Crucible about 2 years ago, and kind of branched out from there. Grid 1 got me to actually get on a stream.
So Grid One's the
about
guy
a year
who
ago.
put this whole thing on.
Grid
I
1
did
got
forget
me
to
in front of a
mention
camera. That it's entirely his fault. I was far too self-conscious to have done it before then, and he also forced. And well, we can't say forced. He twisted my arm into debating because they had no women to do it. And I know he can hear me talking about him and ignoring me. Hi. So, yep.
She
it's
said
entirely his fault.
you forced her to debate.
I said you twisted my arm
Oh,
into
did it?
debating.
Yeah, the mic did go.
Oops. Hang on, folks.
It's a cannon. It's all good.
There you go.
It's a bit of a mess.
It is what it is. We're all used to wires.
Huh? A power. Oh, I think I got. Well, yeah. If you want to clean it up, that would probably be helpful.
I was just talking about you, about how it's your fault that I ever got online to begin with. Never would have done it. Speaking,
Yeah.
I'm usually responsible for things.
huge glaze for Grid 1. He has a debate competition every Friday night. Everyone should come out and compete, even if you've never done it before. You don't need to have done it before. It's a lot of fun, and there's cash prizes, and you meet a lot of really cool people that way. So you should come out and do it.
Well, I just came to just make sure everybody's doing good. It's probably should have planned better and had someone to be the tech guy and run the show down here being social, but I did not end that, so I'm trying to be everywhere.
Well, if you need help, like with the sound and stuff in between, I can come help.
It seems like we've got everything going smoothly.
I could see like the sound settings. I could see every time they talked, it was hitting all three mics. It was every single time.
So something in the actually in voice was helping the game.
Yeah, one of the filters. Yeah,
And so we just turned it on. We turned the voice
yeah. Okay, nice.
Nice. But so yeah, people should definitely come out and check out Grid's Friday night Signal Syndicate. Have you done it yet, Tom?
No, he invited me the last couple of times. Apparently, my stuff's all.
Yeah, it could be low light. Let's see. Got good movement, it looks like. It works.
Yeah, it's a little choppy still. I think it's my.
Processors or
It's the aperture setting that I need to fix. It's because when I first set it up, we had a ton of natural light coming
Yeah.
through those windows, and now it's completely gone. So now everything's orange instead, and I didn't have it set up for this. So, yeah.
it happens.
So yeah, they invited me the last couple of times. I was on a fatty panel. Fatty.
Yep, I know Fatty.
So I was on a fatty panel, and he invited me when I got off. But like right at the end of the panels, every time I go on, we get like really heated because most people they do the panels for like 5 hours,
Yeah.
and I get there right before it starts. I'm always waiting before everybody else, and then I'm there the whole time. But at the end, most everybody's dropped off, and then it's like me, Ilkan Ali, Maddie, a couple people, and that's when every time it gets very heated. I'm the only lefty there, so I'm debating everybody. I'm screaming at everybody, and so it gets. By the time I get off, I'm like, sorry, man, I'm dead now. I'm exhausted. It's not happening.
Yeah, you burn out. I think you tend to burn out your patience when you're dealing with different people over time, right? You know, when everybody starts off in any conversation, pretty good at being tolerant and like even keeled and whatnot. Over time, everybody burns down. Everybody wears down. So, you know, for you being a lefty, I'm sure a lot of the right side stuff seems like nonsense and vice versa. So after 5 hours, what do you expect? All that matters is at the end of the day, you guys are both just like, yeah, sorry, but fuck you too.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're always back like that. And normally at the end of the debates, we always say like, you know, like, hey, appreciate you guys like having the fight and being willing to debate, and I'll see you next week. And so they invited me to another one today, but I'm here. So yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I could have done it from here, but yeah, wanted to.
Well, we're gonna be doing a bunch up at the house too. So like definitely stick around.
Yeah, I had said yesterday that I wanted to do a stream, and then it took me forever to like update everything and get everything set up.
We were all dead too from traveling.
Oh, I came out at like 1 a.m. and everybody was in bed, and then I was still up till like maybe 4 or 5. I'm still trying to get it to work, but
my son had dropped me off at 3 a.m. at the airport the night before, and I hadn't slept yet.
You flew here?
Yeah.
From where?
From Finger Lakes region, New York.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And
I'm from Staten Island.
You drove down?
No, I live in Atlanta.
You live in Atlanta now. Okay, I was gonna say, wait a second.
From Staten Island, live in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm out in the Finger Lakes, and my son had dropped me off at Tompkins Regional at like 3 a.m. And when you walked in last night, I didn't even know you were coming last night. Like I had no clue when you were showing up. It was like, oh, we need to have Grid and have him get a hold of us. And I had just sent messages and put my phone down. And within a matter of 2-3 minutes, you walked in the door. And that's why I was so surprised. I'm oh.
Yeah, I got into the room and like settled down and then checked my messages. And he's like, hey, text them when you get there. And I was like, already here, bro.
It worked out perfect. For the rest of us, none of us, it took all of us collectively to follow one simple bit of instructions, except for Tyler, who, you know, needed us to just come play mommy and daddy and usher him in, you know. It was pretty funny. He even tried to go to the wrong gate on the wrong block with the
I
wrong
saw him
code.
and his wife this morning.
They're good people.
Yeah, I talked to them for a couple of seconds trying to find out where this was, and I totally forgot all of the directions that he gave me and spent like 45 minutes driving in circles.
Oh man, had I known, yeah, I was trying to pay attention to my phone and talk to people and take pictures.
Yeah, you're fine. So are you doing any debates here?
Not here tonight.
No.
Back at the house this weekend, I will be debating Tyler about public schools versus homeschooling.
Okay.
So that'll be.
You guys want to moderate?
Possibly.
Yeah.
We'll take whoever. I mean, I think we're also all live, like you said too. We're all live streaming. So like, you want to get in on some debate action too, because I don't think Tyler or I have done any prep. We're pretty much winging it.
Yeah, I'm
Which
supposed
make
to be
for the best
debating
ones.
Rob Noor, and they didn't even give us a topic because we've like debated so many times, but they didn't want.
You're debating here today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, me and Rob were supposed to debate, but they kept asking us like, "What do you guys want to debate?" We're both like, "We've debated so many times, like we don't have anything else to really debate."
about anything.
So, like, not a topic, and so eventually we're just like, "Bro, just sit us down next to each other. We'll start arguing about something." So that's that's the plan. I'm sure I'll like it's normally it's really easy to just be like, okay, well, why did you vote for Trump? And then just start there. So
Yeah. There's a lot of topics you guys could go off of. You could do the EBT stuff. You could do the way the government's going now. Wait, I thought I heard it was supposed to be. Oh no, that was one earlier about is Trump more socialist now than he was when he went into office, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know any of the other topics or any of the other like debates that are happening. I've obviously talked to some of the other people. I was talking to Fabian Liberty for a little bit earlier. I forget the other guy's name. There's a guy here who I debated on a fatty panel about Carmelo Anthony. Chat, do you guys remember his name?
Could it be Jake Barr?
Jake, yes. Okay.
He's upstairs debating about Palestine right
I'm
now.
bad with names. And he came up, he's like, Tom, hey, what's going on, man? I totally keep blanking on.
I think I've debated him once, and I think I actually beat him. Don't know how. I think I beat him. Maybe I didn't. But that's the thing. So with Grid Show, you don't have a topic until the minute before you start debating. You pick something real quick. And often, I mean, I've had to take positions that I totally don't even believe in just because I don't want to argue about the prompt anymore.
Argue about the what?
The prompt, what the prompt is going to be or whatever. And it's a lot of fun. It's worth it. And you get to kind of think things up on the fly and be ridiculous with it even. Honestly, I don't think I should have won most of the debates that I've had.
Yeah.
I'm not as intelligent as any of the people that I've beaten at all. They're all far more intelligent than me. It's just a matter of, I don't know, good rhetoric.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I have trouble apparently in debates where I'm supposedly signaling like information that I don't want, that I'm not meaning to signal. So do you know the difference between like prescriptive and descriptive?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm talking descriptive.
Yep.
And people hear prescriptions. Right.
Yep.
So like on a panel recently, we were talking about, stock buybacks. And
Okay.
they were talking about the fact that like all these CEOs are doing stock buybacks, and even some of them are getting bailouts and using the bailout money for stock buybacks instead of giving it to the employees. And I'm like, but the company's about to go under, so they do need to do stock buybacks in order to stay afloat. That's what the bailout money's for. And they say, oh, so you're just saying fuck the employees. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Wait, I didn't say anything like that. But they're like, oh, so you care more about CEOs than you care about the people. And like, I'm like, no, I'm just like, this is just true. Like,
what you do is the thing that I found, because I've been in that exact position before. And what I do is I say, listen, you got to say there's a difference between what is and what ought to be.
I tried that for like an hour.
Yeah.
Try that for like
still
an hour.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like when I make the first statement, I probably should do the virtue signaling and be like, look, man, employees are getting shit and they're not making enough money to make ends meet.
And it's wrong. It shouldn't be.
Yes, and like they should make more. Blah blah blah. But that's just not what the bailouts are for. And that like
honestly, I always maybe it's the woman in me. I always begin with the virtue signaling. And like I said, I think that's the big key to rhetoric, right? When you're debating points and information and data, that's really easy to hit, what is and how it is. But if you don't include those caveats of the oughts up front, I think a lot of people think you're not even saying it, like you say.
Yep. And that's all they end up doing.
Exactly. And then everybody hates you and it's bullshit. But
oh yeah, the audio is pretty good.
Awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, apparently the audio was shit when we first got here. All they could hear was the background noise. So
yeah, there's some rowdy people outside having a very good time.
Also, I thought I forgot one of my cords back at the Airbnb, so I found it in my car.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to tap out and I'm going to go send Wicked Wally or somebody in here to bother you next.
Thank you. Are there more lights? Do you know?
I have not a clue.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to change the whole settings on my camera because it's getting very, very choppy.
What if you were to just flip it around so that the table's here and everyone's sitting here and direct overhead lights right here? A little more.
Well, I could So I kind of want to just move this, but I need the mic hanging off of here, and so it'll be okay. I'll just
All right. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks. It's a little bit better. Yeah, the shadow from over here is a little bit better. But I'm not. That's a little bit better. How's the venue? It's a really nice venue, actually. Really nice here. Everything looks really good. They picked a really good spot. Yeah. I might have to just put it. That's a little bit better. Yeah, it's definitely the aperture. Like you can see, like my hand movements are just so. It's very wavy. Six foot seven. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. Oh. 6, 7. Did anybody look at the debates? Huh? No, we're streaming.
Oh, you're streaming separate. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Huh? YouTube. Tomfoolery show. Apparently, we're having a lot of technical issues, so it's not working out great, but I think we're making it work. Yeah. Ryan, Tom, nice to meet you. It's totally fine. Okay. Well, I'm saying it. Yeah, it is now. I think it's gotten a lot better now. Yeah, Kyle was saying that she's been brigading him. Yeah, I ended up having like a really easy drive up here. But apparently, so for this laptop, it can't even update to Windows 11. So apparently Acer made everything like very specific to this hardware and everything, to where it can't even update to Windows 11. And if it can't update to Windows 11, then it can't update all the drivers and everything. And so, yeah, I can't use the OBS anymore. I tried playing Call of Duty last night, couldn't do that. So yeah, when I first opened it, it was super slow. Like it took like 30 minutes just to load and open up like everything. But then I did a scan disk thing, and that seemed to fix literally everything. So. Time to get a new laptop? Yeah, maybe. So this one was expensive. It was a very, very nice laptop. Like when I got it, I could easily play video games on it and everything. There's no issue at all. And now, not so much. So. Let's see.
Yes.
Who's there? So, like I said, Jake is here. Fabian Liberty's right up. Fabian's tall as fuck. Dude. He actually is like 6'7". Like he is tall as fuck. And then so Fabian, Jake. There were like 4 or 5 other people who came over and said, hey. I didn't really recognize any of them or know their names. A couple of them said that they just knew me from Twitter. So they just recognized me from my profile picture. Oh, that's much better. That's much better. Still really dark though. It's not focusing on. A little bit better. Yeah, the shadow here is just not all that great. Not great light here. I wish I grabbed another light or something right here, but here, let me show you some of this. So, it's all most of the debates are happening upstairs. There's a guy that's you can hear him yelling every once in a while. He sounds exactly like the guy. I forget his name, but he's in a ton of shit. He's in Silicon Valley. You guys know? Fuck yeah. He's on Silicon Valley. The guy with the long, like bushy hair in Silicon Valley, and then he was on She's Out of My League as well. He's like one of the friends at the airport. Appreciate it, Geller News. I have, if you weren't here earlier at the beginning of the stream, I had on my new TOMFOOLERY jacket that Alex got me. And it's very cool. It's very cool. So right now I've got, the old TOMFOOLERY podcast shirt. It's got the website on the back as well. And because I used to have a website like similar to DGG. That I used to use. So. Yeah, I need to grab some food here shortly. I didn't buy you anything. Yeah, most people sent me super chats for my birthday. So it's very much appreciated. We made I think over $300 on my birthday. So. Rob? Oh yeah.
What do you think?
You want to take a seat? We're on stream.
So what's it on?
Huh?
What's it on?
On stream. We're on my YouTube channel right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I've debated Rob a bunch in the past.
Kind of like a pre-debate interview. I'm kind of curious. It's like Rob's pretty strong, so.
Yeah, well, part of the problem is that they kept asking us what we wanted to debate, and we both debated so many times that we didn't really have any topics, so we're just gonna kind of wing it. We'll argue over something.
Well, knowing Rob, he'll probably steer it to corruption because that's like his favorite thing.
Yeah, well, that is. Yeah. Do you watch debates?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I've actually like early on in your career, like you put up a debate. I believe it was on veganism. Like we're hitting in the chat. It was like debating back and forth in the chat, like probably longer than the debate part that you posted. So it's been a while. I remember you from a while. I've seen Rob forever. So it's kind of interesting.
I kind of remember. Yeah, there was a debate on veganism that I had with a guy who was on Twitter, and him and I got into it in like a Mind Waves reply group, and we ended up.
Yeah. I think I remember that. Yeah, Mind Wave. I remember. I think that was when I first saw you. It was Mind Waves. Were you on one of his panels a couple of times? Do you remember him?
Yeah, I know. I don't think I was on any Minor Waves panels. He had stopped doing panels by the time I came around.
Okay.
And then I got banned on Twitch pretty early on.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Wasn't around as much, but no, it was on on Twitter. He had posted something about veganism. I got into a fight with somebody in the replies, and then told them to just come on stream. That's one of the few debates I've ever had on veganism. But yeah, that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So a position changed at all, or just like not a topic anymore you care about?
No, it's pretty much the same. Like I just had a conversation with somebody before. I have somebody who's like very, very strict on like they don't want to harm animals at all. Like they find bees or spiders in their house, they want to like take them outside and send them. And I'm like, yeah, I just kill them. Like I'll just Like I'm just gonna smash the fucking thing and put it in the trash can or flush it down the toilet. And yeah, she doesn't like that. And so we have like some of these conversations, but the overall position is still like, to me, morals just apply to humans, like because we're social.
So it's an
animals.
interesting point. So I've mentioned this before on another stream, but like a lot of times the debate goes down to name that trait, right? Name the trait.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people have a hard time with that because it was just like, okay, you know, it's hard to like find a trait. So I asked, never really had the debate before with somebody, kind of interesting, but my answer would be to name the trait is that they're not human.
Right.
Right. That's a trait, and it avoids all little traps that any other trait would deal with and whatnot. But then, of course, Andrew comes up with the whole idea of, well, what if there was an alien culture that they looked like humans, they acted like humans, you know, they came down. Technically, they're not human. So can you eat them?
So we like the thing, everything as far as like our personhood goes, we like it exists on a spectrum, and most of it seems to depend on how much we can relate to them and therefore empathize with them. So if when it comes to dogs can make very human facial expressions.
Right.
They'll make whining sounds. They can lower their eyebrows. They can raise their eyebrows. They can do all sorts of things that like express to us their emotions, and therefore we can empathize with them. So we will give a dog a lot more personhood than we'll give a lizard.
Okay. Right. And I've heard this before, but like there are certain societies and cultures that eat cats and dogs. So, you know, that was been my issue is it was like speciesism, which is what you originally were saying, seems to cut that line pretty dang quick. The answer I gave to Andrew is like, yes, of course you could eat the aliens. They're not human. And people are like, ooh, that seems like a big bullet to bite. And I'm like, okay, well, imagine this scenario. If let's say they were hostile and they wanted to eliminate the humans. Well, I don't see any moral quandaries with eating them at that point.
Well, but the difference is though is that like the eating part is already like a little odd. Like killing something, pretty simple. Eating it depends on like I guess how good it tastes.
Fair enough.
But the killing part is the main thing. Like
aliens taste like bacon.
They taste like bacon. But I think like because at that point the only quandary is whether or not we can kill them. But if you're saying we're already acting in self-defense, well then of course we can kill them. What we do with them afterwards like doesn't matter all that much because it's probably a very human thing to bury bodies and stuff like that. It may not even be a practice for them. Maybe they eat each other after they die.
Right, exactly.
Who knows? And so it's it probably the eating part wouldn't.
Well, it's so when we brought this more down to earth, because it's like a little bit of a hypothetical, is that you can have the idea of like prehistoric man when there was other species on the planet that were hominids. You know, would you be able to eat them? And okay, again, my attitude would be like, yeah, maybe, and maybe again, the thing would be dominance. You know, hey, we're going to beat this species. We're dominant over them, so of course we can eat them. You know, and then you've got like, but you were touching on other things like gorillas, dolphins, pigs, right? You know, all these things are interesting because in some ways they're treated a lot like pets, or you can relate with them. But in other times, like gorilla meat is a thing in certain societies.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that line is very difficult to cross, which is why, to me, the speciesism line is, you know, it may sound difficult sometimes, you know, especially like, but it seems to be a pretty straightforward line that works. I don't know, maybe in all situations.
Because I think morality already only exists because we're social animals.
Right.
And because we're social animals, we have to build rules for us to exist with one another so that we can exist like in a cohesive manner. But if you look like back in the day, have you ever read the book Sapiens?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so in the book Sapiens, they talk about the fact that like back then tribes, like morality existed between tribes. And so it was just like your family and your friends.
Right.
And that's it. If you see somebody else from another tribe, you kill them because they're competition for food and things like that. And so, and like resources and everything. So you kill them just because they're not one of yours.
You might even eat them, which kind of
Sure.
pushes the speciesism thing. But yeah,
Apparently, even back then, it wasn't common for humans to eat other humans or other hominoids. Like it just was not a thing. But we, I guess the point is that today we've created society to where morals apply to everybody. So yours and my morals
Right.
apply to people in China and things like
not
this.
quite. Like so that's a big discussion that's going on even now. Is you do see differences in morals across cultures.
Sure, differences, but I'm saying that like,
There's a lot of core ones that are
but
there.
we
Yeah,
can't just kill them.
right.
That's
Now,
the point.
yeah,
That's
listen,
the point.
upstairs there's the debate on Israel, and right now they're going over whether or not Israel and Gaza is a war or a genocide. Like that's the main part of the debate. And the thing being is if it's declared a war, well, now all of a sudden kind of all bets are off, the rules are a little off the table, and you can kind of do a little bit more, but if it's a genocide, now all of a sudden it's oh hey, now you got to play by some rules. And so I guess maybe what I'm going with is that I agree that we tend to want to play by rules. Society, in history, we haven't played by those rules. Like we do and we want to, like peacetime, but in wartime, like all bets are off, and so you're really not playing by those rules.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I get it. So I think like with morality, a way to put it is like it's a should. We should be peaceful towards each other, right? But that doesn't mean we're going to. It's the
right, but that's
might
that
versus
is
right
part,
versus yeah.
Kind of. That's part of like the morality is that like
Yeah.
I'm allowed to engage in self-defense, just like with the aliens. Like I'm
for
allowed
sure.
to engage in self-defense, but it has nothing to do with like the different species or different cultures or anything like that. Like we've had civil wars here. Like it's not as much about that. It's just more about like there have to be some sort of like measures to protect things.
I think a lot of it comes back to exactly what you're saying. Morality exists to have people get along. But the problem is sometimes people don't get along,
right?
And morality breaks them.
Well, there has to, that is kind of what war is for, is to back up some sort of morality. So, like lately, I've been learning about Desert Storm, and that in Desert Storm, Saddam went into Kuwait and took all the money from the banks because all the other nations were raising their prices on oil, which was making it impossible for him to raise money on his oil to pay for his military. And so he was either going to lose his military force and not be able to defend himself against Iran anymore, or he was going to have to go and take the fucking money. Now, it makes sense rationally why he felt like he had to do that for his country and for their existence and for their safety. But then the United States, in order for like oil prices to stay stable and everything, we have to now go into Kuwait and into Iraq to fight against them and to defend all this. So it like from different positions, this makes sense and it's rational from both sides.
Right.
And different, groups have different competing.
Well, and then the key part with war too is a lot of people like they don't just happen for one reason, right? Like going back to Israel Palestine, everybody's like, oh, October 7th. Well, yeah, but that was kind of a trigger. It's like basically saying the assassination of World War One. That caused World War One. No, actually, there's a ton of other factors that led to World War One, and that was just a spark that pissed everybody off and got everybody angry, right?
Yeah.
So wars always happen for multiple reasons, but again, it goes down to both sides think they're in the right, and think about it. That's what war is. People are literally wanting to kill the other person and risking their own life because they believe what's right. Right? Like, why otherwise would you put your life on the line? Right? And so it's a clash of morality.
Yep.
So,
yeah, generally the like simplistic way that I put it is that morality exists for society to exist, and so that morals are just like a tool to use for society. We used to say for a tribe to exist, but now it's not
a country or
tribe.
state. Yeah.
Now it's more so society.
Yeah.
So now we build all of these new morals that are kind of like making it so that we have a society that can exist on a larger scale than what it was when we were more tribal.
Okay, so the key issue that we run into, and this is something I think that happens a lot, and it's a key for a lot of debates, is that you have this idea as, oh, we want society to progress. We want it to be fruitful. But then there's also coming back is that we're all humans, we're all individuals. And so there's always this dichotomy between the best for the group and the best for the individual.
Right.
And I believe that that's a key factor that we haven't necessarily solved in many ways. Like I would advocate for the ability for free association, but a lot of people don't, right? This may sound a little bit goofy, but maybe go with me. Like the civil rights movement, equal rights. It wasn't the Equal Rights Amendment. The what was passed in the '60s. I keep want to call it the Equal Rights Act, but it never.
Rights Act.
Yeah, Civil Rights Act. That's right.
Civil Rights Act. Yeah.
But the reality with the Civil Rights Act is it violates free association.
How so?
Because you have to serve somebody. You have to let somebody in.
Well,
If you-
kind of. So free association is more like individualistic, whereas that more applies to businesses and
But businesses should be able to freely associate. Like a business is just a way for you to trade with people around you. Why are you forced to trade with certain people?
so you're not forced to trade with certain people, but
Oh.
you're forced not to trade on certain characteristics.
It's the same thing. I
But
mean,
it's not, because they even like when we're talking about morals exist for society to exist. When we extend the free association that far, society will start to break down if
Well,
we start to exclude people on those sorts of traits.
well, maybe. And I guess the reason why I'm sitting there saying, so I'll throw a little bit at ANCAP idea. I'm seeing Scott walking in right now. Is the whole idea, like what their idea is that instead of trying to have one big globalistic state, that basically you'd have lots of these micro nations. Like you basically just let people be like, hey, I want to associate with these people and live in this area and do these things. And you can do that over there too. If you want to implement this, you're free to do that. You want to implement that over there, you're free to do that. Now I'm going to argue that there's a lot of things wrong with that, but that's their basic idea, is that if you had complete free association, people would group together in bundles and do as they see fit. And the basic idea is that why does somebody in California get to tell somebody in Florida what to do? Right? Like it's not their business.
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends. Like we're talking about like on a federal level, you mean? Like
Well,
federal
that's the
level?
problem. Is a federal level actually makes it happen that way. At a state level, no. Like there's California law that's different than Florida law, so they both do different things. And so that's again, it's it's still a question that we're running into: is how much federalism should we have, and how much should we not have? Like how much there is definite. Okay, so the foundation of the country came down to the idea. Originally it was 13 states, 13 colonies, and whatnot, and they kind of went off and did their own thing.
Yeah, they didn't have the Constitution, didn't apply to state laws.
It didn't exist at that point, right? And the whole idea behind the Constitution is like, well, we do have power as a nation.
I'm saying even once the Constitution did exist, it
There's
didn't
still
apply
some
to state
state-
laws.
Right.
It was only federal laws that it applied to, and so you were still allowed to discriminate based on state.
Yeah, agreed, except for certain things, right? And that was the whole point. So, but I guess what I'm talking about is the impetus for the Constitution. The impetus for, hey, we're just 13 colonies doing our thing. Oh, maybe it's a good idea to all band together and form a nation, right? So that's the impetus I'm talking about. Why was that a thing? Why did we decide to become a nation over just staying 13 colonies? And a lot of it was mutual protection, right? Like armies are expensive.
Well, so that is obviously one part of it. That slavery was a big,
But part of it,
issue
yeah,
as well.
and negotiating with other nations, right? Like if you have all 13 colonies making different agreements with different nations.
Oh, but that's what Congress is for.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, president and Congress. And so that's the interesting part, is that we started off as being all these independent things, but there were forces that wanted us to come together as a nation. And as you saw, that only grew. Like a good statistic I like to show is that when the nation started, only like 0.5% of GDP was the nation as a whole, the federal government. Okay. Today it's grown to 40% of GDP.
Yeah.
Right. It's ballooned tremendously. And as you're sitting there showing is that we're defederalizing more and more all the time. And the question is why? Like, and or the question is even if this is good, like, you know, California, go ahead and let them do their thing.
Well, there's a balance. And so
Yeah.
that's part of like with you know, Reaganomics. Like that's a thing that conservatives hold us at a pretty high level is Reaganomics. But if you go back to like what Reagan actually did with deregulating so many things and defederalizing so much, that it actually had a huge negative effect on the economy, and that we had to start building back. But eventually we get to a point where there is like too much intrusive stuff. Like the guy from I can never remember his name. The guy from Vox is now you know, he's got his new book
Tucker?
out. No, Vox. VOX.
Okay. Oh, Vox.
He's got his new book out that is all about like deregulating all of these things and getting rid of like all of the
Okay.
intrusive
So, and he's showing how that caused issues.
He's saying, yeah, that it makes it too expensive for like small businesses to get in and compete, especially
Really?
Yeah, because it's.
I'd like to see examples, because usually it's the opposite. Usually regulation favors the big company because they can pay the startup costs and the fines,
Well,
and the little guy can't do it because they can't afford to.
no,
do
that's
it.
what I say. The
Oh.
small businesses are not capable of getting in because
Okay.
they can't pay the upfront costs in like all of the licensing, all
Right.
of the, you know, the regulation costs, you know, the
Mhm.
chemicals and like all of this stuff. And I used to work for a big corporation franchisee who like we had tons of different companies that we paid to come test us on all sorts of stuff all the time. And yeah, there's no way that like
Yeah.
some little business can
Well,
compete
I
with
mean,
that.
and people were sitting there like with the 2020, they were sitting there saying is like that kind of was hurting the mom and pop stores because the big companies had teams of lawyers and they were able to figure out how to get the loans and the money to continue, where small companies couldn't, which there's a little bit against that. Like again, Destiny was able to get a loan, so he was able to figure it out. I've known people that own hairdressers and salons and whatnot that were able to get, you know, loans like that during COVID. So it's not like the PPE loans were unavailable, but that kind of is a whole thing with regulation, is that it feels like whenever you have government pass a law and force all this regulation, the big companies are able to figure it out, work within that system, and benefit from it, where the littler guys have a hard time with it. And so, you know, that to me is like, you know, a case for maybe government's getting too big. Like we talk about deregulation of the airlines back in, was it the 80s? I think it was. You know, where it used to be the
Well, that was Reagan.
yeah.
That was part of Reaganomics, is getting rid of that, and that was beneficial. That was good.
Yeah.
But yes,
A breakup, the deregulation, the breakup of the phone companies, which is interesting because everybody sits there and talks about that being a good thing. But as we see from how technology has progressed, nobody has the landline anymore, right?
Well,
like that,
and-
that monopoly would have disappeared in 10 years, even
Well,
without the government.
they all turned into cell phone companies.
Yeah.
And are now combined again. So like
Yeah.
you had Bell that got broken up into like Bell South, AT&T,
Yep.
Singular
Veritech,
Wireless, and now they bought all of them back up, and they're all one company.
It's a cell
And
company,
so-
yeah. So, but you know, but the internet companies are now competing with them too, and so you know, I guess that's just an interesting question. Is, you know, with the like we see a lot of times when like removing the regulation has happened. Now, to me, there's a questionability. For instance, what was it? The latest scam? It was the bank. Remember the bank collapses in California? Like, was it 3 years ago or so?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know, because they were blaming that on the deregulation of was it Stanley? It was some of the old acts that were put in 1930, like when the savings when you know that $100,000 you get in security for a savings and loan. Forget what that's called. It's like basically if you go and get a bank account and you put there's an insurance on that account where if the bank defaults, the government will give you up to $100,000 to cover your money. Again, I forget what that's called, but there was a bunch of other bank
They call it a
regulatory.
bailout.
Yeah, the bank regulatory laws, and their argument is that got lapsed a little bit in the early 2000s, and
Are you
that
talking
may have,
about Glass-Steagall? No, that was early 90s. Because
That might have been.
that got.
was it the repeal? They're blaming. I think it was the
It was
repeal
the
of
repeal of
Glass-Steagall that led to. It was either the housing crisis.
Yeah.
The housing that was the housing crisis because the idea was is that it restricted a lot of regulations on mortgages and how you finance things. Because there's a lot of laws based on how you could like charge people for interest with APR. I don't know if you've seen it like the Wild Day where you had a lot of banks like doing lots of crazy things with how they calculated interest, and it was extremely confusing. And there's a lot of laws that came along saying, no, you have to show the APR in order for people to be able to compare loans now. Now, I don't know. Today, maybe the technology is good enough that you won't need that anymore because you can just do it in your calculator and it's like, yeah, this loan sucks. But, back then it was very easy to fool customers with crazy loan strategies. If you want to call it that.
Yeah, I think like overall, I think our country probably has benefited overall from the Constitution starting to apply to every state and their laws, and that us, yes, being one nation has greatly benefited us because
I agree with that.
like we're so fucking big and have so many people and
on the other hand, there's issues where we're kind of getting too big for our own britches. Like if you notice, it's very hard like to do any political will anymore, like to get things to happen. One thing that really discourages me is this large deficit that we have. Like, how can we keep that going on forever? Yet, even when it's pointed out, oh, here's a bunch of waste we could potentially get rid of. How difficult was it to even get that to even happen, right?
Well, I mean, from my understanding is that we're not even trying really to get rid of it. Like Trump is one of the few who wants to get rid of it, but in reality, we just don't have to.
There's no point. We do have to. Eventually, it's going to go away one way or the other. The hope is that you can control it.
But that's kind of the point. Is that you, like with more and more debt going out to different countries, and then even these other countries all seem to like rely on our debt to trade with amongst themselves. That like this kind of helps everybody, and everybody is happy with us going further into debt, so that they can continue trading on it. And it seems to be something you're all happy with. I'm sorry, can you just start?
That's fine. I came down.
Yeah, so if you want to hang out, just
on dinner break, it's also getting a bit loud. I don't know. You found a quiet part, but still. And I think you're going to be up. No, Fabian's next.
I'm not until 8, so I got
okay.
Like 2.5 hours.
I said I think Scott and what you call it is next, and I think you're afterwards.
Yeah, you can still keep hanging out.
No, that's fine. I'm going to get some B2.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
It was me and another was trying to explain basis of the while I was very aggressively misunderstanding. Yeah, we're talking about fucking masculine. Just he was trying to distinguish it wasn't in that way. It was me and a person disagreeing, trying to get him up to like high school level of understanding. Well, I need to make a fucking 19-year-old. The shit that kids like, and very confident now.
Okay. There's still just like one guy who's just yelling. I don't think you guys can hear him. Yeah, this is we got pulled pork, baked beans, and then macaroni. I poured some barbecue sauce on the pulled pork. They got tables full of food, like all over, and like a bunch of tables full of like cookies and just massive platters all over the place. I saw somebody in chat saying, "How are you supposed to do a debatecon when all the lefties win?" I'm here. Apparently. So I think they have the place till midnight, but my debate's supposed to be from like 8 till 10, and they just want to close everything down and shut it down. And I drove all the way out here, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get a lot more going than just that, but we'll see. What's What's you got 2 weeks. I got a point. Yeah. 2 weeks, baby. What they got?
Huh? Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna eat for a minute, but you want to come in now? So if you want to come over and hang out for like 10 minutes, I gotta do this.
Why don't we have a picture? Where are all my pictures? Where's the picture they pitched? Get a picture.
Before bombing the building, we were trying to
Meanwhile, they both
just kill all the civilians.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For that, for sure. Yeah, I would say that's just to look good on the public stage of things, right? This is again the propaganda on this. Oh, you guys have 5 minutes to get to get out of the area, right? Which they don't even deliberately give them enough time to get out of there in the first place. So all of the circumstances and the stats that they give these fucking people are in young children. So this is why it's just to kind of look good on the
Let's respond to that, and then we'll go to the audience.
Generally, I think it speaks. It's just one of the many factors I brought up, speaking to Israel's intent to prevent provide protection and not harm civilians. Again, like they've been trying efforts. They've moved 1.1 million people out of Gaza City. They have them sheltered, fed, clothed, and well taken care of.
1 point
way far.
Wait, 1 point what?
1.1 million out of Gaza City.
They took 1.1 million people out of Gaza City, even though currently right now the population is a little under 2 million.
So what happened?
So then the population.
Originally, they went into Gaza City. They took out 400,000 people. I said this at one point during the debate. They took
Yeah,
out
I heard
400,000
that.
People moving to Rafah. They took about 800,000 people out of Rafah. When
They took them to Rafah
and took them back to Gaza City, and then they moved. $1.1 million people out of Gaza City into a secure location so they can go back into the Hamas stronghold.
Okay, go on.
So that's all. I think it shows their intent and that they're really trying to protect the Palestinians significantly more than Hamas. Hamas is their own government.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the audience. Who has questions? Anybody got questions, audience? All right, this guy.
I don't know why it's lagging like crazy. I can't get
Does he
this
need a
work.
mic?
Yeah. I think you just. Who's your question for him? Okay, then take his.
Yeah, just come yell. Yeah, you come on up. Come over by me and you can yell by me.
All right. So Tyler,
Yes, sir.
under the UN Genocide Convention of 1948, genocide requires three things: intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group.
Mhm.
Would you not agree that there was still a form of clear intent that erasure of civilians was okay, as the lowest estimation of 60% plus of civilian homes resulted in destruction based upon actions chosen even in pursuit of your justification being so-called tunnels?
You said civilian homes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd say that if you are arguing that there was a genocide against homes, then you might have something there. But the fact that they were relocating the people out of those homes prior to, many of them were held there by gunpoint by their own government, but they attempted to move these people out of that area prior to bombing, which is the 400,000 people out of Gaza City before they initially went in, and that's when the actual massive destruction to homes. Happened, I'd say that shows their intent to preserve as many lives from that ethnicity as possible, with still maintaining a war.
Okay, so that removes the first qualifier to the definition that's provided: intent to destroy. So regardless if you remove them or not, it's still destroyed. That's still part of the genocide towards the people.
Intent to destroy.
Okay, there we go. Sheesh. I do need to look at the news. I feel like it's gonna lag everything out if I do. Yeah, I need to look at the news still. Trying to see what all's going on. The debate. See. Oh my goodness. Let me pull it up on my phone. Yeah, I'm allowed. Huh? Chair open? I haven't. So how's it going?
Pretty good.
What was your name?
Josh.
Josh. You said you streamed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JS Urban Adventures.
Wait, is my audio up?
JS Urban Adventures.
Oh, I guess it sounds like. No, okay.
Yeah,
I was
you can
just
hear it.
turned away from it. All right, cool. What do you do on your channel?
Stream politics. I talk about my favorite thing to talk about is theology. Different religions. I like learning about all the religions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like in the Crucible circles?
Yeah, I've been watching Crucible since he had like, I think when I started watching, I had more subs than him. I had like 1,000. He had less, but
Yeah, I've known him since before he had the Crucible.
yeah.
With Politically Provoked.
Yep. Yeah, I wasn't watching back then, but I've seen those. I've seen those.
So you went like the Jay Dyer circles? Or?
I mean, yeah, I'm in all those circles. I go to all those chats. I watch all those channels and stuff, but I gotta do my own thing.
Yeah.
My inspirations are like Crowder, Slightly Offensive, Fleckus Talks. You know, the guys that you make your name off doing the man on the street stuff.
Yeah.
Go out
Yeah.
and you get in it, and then you do some commentary.
Don't know a bit of that. My channel's tanked over the last 2 years, but there's done like a lot of like going to protests, going to rallies and stuff like that, and talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So, do you do debates? Do you go on debate shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last debate you did?
I just did one upstairs about prohibition.
That's right. Okay, you were debating.
Yeah, I've been on
I showed up during that.
I've been on an anti-libertarian tear lately. I've done prostitution should not be legalized. Drugs should not be legalized.
We should get Fabian over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was talking to Grit about me and Fabian doing one, but I like prep time. I need prep time. I write my openings and I want it to be professional. You know, if it's on some blood sports panel or something, then I'll just jump into it for 10 minutes with anybody. But if I want to do a formal debate, I prepare for it.
Okay. So, what you say you've been debating against libertarianism lately? Are there any libertarians that you've debated more recently?
Not big ones.
No.
No. There was Indian Jesus, and
He's messaged me a couple of times to debate.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever ended up debating him. I don't think.
He's all right. He's pretty good. Yeah.
I might have actually. I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you been on modern day debates?
No. I have the Google Doc for the questionnaire that you fill out to apply. And I just never did it. So.
They're at this point like not really doing politics at all anymore. They're just doing like theology and
that's my favorite.
Conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Flat Earth.
Yeah.
All those things.
They went to Flat Earth for a while, and I used to watch all of them, but they went to Flat Earth for a while, and I kind of wasn't there for that. But the theology stuff, Flat Earth is interesting because a lot of Christians are Flat Earthers. I'm not a fan of that.
Are you Protestant or Orthodox?
They'd call me Protestant. Yeah. I don't protest the Orthodox Church or the Catholic Church. I don't believe in all these different denominations, so they call me non-denominational. But the non-denominational church has its own denomination where they take donations. It's now a denomination to be non-denominational.
Even non-denominational would have to be a denomination, but
right,
because like
No,
especially when it comes to like Protestant or Orthodox, like to me, like I'm not a Christian, but if I was, I would start with the fundamental belief that, like, if there was something that is the authority for man to know what it is that God wants and what his will is, it would be the Bible. Like, it would just have to be the Bible. Even like the church would have to get their information from the Bible.
They do.
And so, right.
That's
So-
why sola scriptura versus sola ecclesia. I call it sola ecclesia, which is the church authority alone.
Did you see my dad debate sola scriptura?
No, Wally was talking about that.
Yeah, he debated Jay Dyer on sola scriptura. He's not much of a debater. He's a pastor, and so he was not into the like philosophy side of it, and Jay just kind of kept digging him down until my dad's like, I don't know, man, I don't care.
Yeah, Jay can. Yeah, he can do that to people. But I put the scriptures authority above the church's authority, above men, fallible men who run churches, and they have councils. And dude, I'm gonna say things that all these people are gonna hate me.
I mean,
not your audience.
Yeah, I was about to say my audience is
Yeah.
Bunch of atheists. So.
You damn dirty atheists.
Yeah.
I'm taking your rights. I'm coming for your rights.
Are you Christian nationalists or?
Everybody keeps asking that. This is a new, like a
It
new.
is a fact. Like it is
Yeah.
something that's building up right now that is becoming more and more popular.
I'm a nationalist. And then, but even when I say I'm a nationalist, like we're gonna have to dig into how non-interventionist am I? How I'm a nationalist. I love America, but Christianity comes first, so I'm a Christian.
But does Christianity come first within government?
So I am a theocrat. I think the church should run.
Yeah, so that would be Christian nationalism. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care so much about the Constitution in America. Like,
Well, right. That's part of.
Okay.
So that is part of like Christian nationalism. They're not like as big on the Constitution. Like it's more about the Bible and things like that. I don't think, to me, the Bible never says anything about like, God running countries or the Bible running countries or Christianity running countries.
Well, he sets up a theocracy.
Where?
In Deuteronomy, Leviticus. No, first, it's a monarchy. It's a monarchy, and then it becomes a I'm sorry.
To an extent, like
I flipped it. It's a theocracy first, then it becomes a
counseling
monarchy.
a king.
Yeah.
That somewhat becomes that, but it didn't seem as though that was like ever something that Jesus or God said. Like this is like the intent of government or what they ought to.
Leviticus sets up a pretty clear theocracy. The Levites and the religious leaders run shit, and they're in charge. And then later, when we get to Kings and Samuel and all that stuff, it becomes a monarchy, and that's when a king is appointed. And God warned them against that. He's like, one day you're going to want to appoint a king, and I'll show you how to make the right king. But he didn't want the king. The government that God set up in the Old Testament was a theocracy. It was the religious in a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy with the religious leaders leading, and then rulers of the thousands and the hundreds and the tens and fives, or so on and so forth.
Do you not think, like, especially with our country becoming more and more secular to an extent, it's kind of confusing because, like, it seems as though people who identify as Christian are going up, but people who attend church or like are active within the religion is going down. And so, do you not think that if we get rid of things like freedom of religion, that there's a chance that the Christians who get in power and remove these freedoms that are in the Constitution will only be there for a short time, and then some secular person will be able to take over, and then freedom of religion will just kind of cease to be a thing because the Christians got rid of it, and now it's just a secular nation and no more religion, no more Christianity, no more Islam or anything like that.
So That was a there's a lot there.
Well, I'm saying, is that not your fear? Like that this is like a slippery slope to get rid of freedom of religion?
I think so. Freedom of religion, establishment clauses, is freedom to practice your religion. It's not about keeping religion out of the government. We could still have people in the government who are running it from a religious perspective. The freedom to practice your religion.
Well, the First Amendment says that the Congress can't respect one religion above another.
Right.
And that's so you're allowed to be like a religious person who, if you have a religious like congregation, like that's allowed to influence
You're allowed to get into
decision making. Yes.
Right.
But it's not that you are a Christian government. And so if all of a sudden we were a Christian theocracy, then yes, like that would drastically override the First Amendment.
Yeah, it only works on smaller scales, small homogenous nations. And we see a lot of like
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes, because I would think that yes, like I am a big like constitutionalist, like love the Constitution, think it's perfect the way it is. But I do think that like yes, if people were going to have like a theocratic nation, it would have to be almost on like a state level instead of on a national level.
Yeah, there's a certain number of people in a certain amount of melting potness where it doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they try a lot of these things like legalizing prostitution, legalizing drugs. They'll try it in countries like Portugal or Scandinavian countries where it's smaller and more homogenous, and it works there to try those things. And the same thing would be with a theocracy. Like there's Adams. I always get Adams and Madison confused, but he said the Constitution only works for moral and religious people. So our Constitution is for the idea. They wanted to write that you could only be a Christian president. They wanted to make a law that to be president you had to be a Christian. And they thought that's redundant. Of course, the only president is going to be a Christian. But now we see otherwise. So once you get to,
but they also wrote in the Constitution that like we wouldn't have again a religion respected above another. We have the letters of the separation of church and state, which isn't in the Constitution, but this is a philosophy that has been respected and has been used even in Supreme Court decisions and things like that as like a ruling ideal for the United States. And so it's while they may have wanted a Christian president, and every president has been somewhat some type of Christian one way or the other, it's still the ideal is that like if the nation moved in a different direction, that would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and this is probably why I'm not a Christian nationalist, because we think of nation, we think of America, we think of the Constitution. My Constitution is the Bible. My Constitution is God. So, and what I know of God comes from the scriptures. So, if we didn't have America and we had a Christian nation, then I'm a Christian nationalist. Now I'm a Christian nationalist. But in America, I can't be a Christian nationalist.
Sure. Okay. I get what you're saying. So it's kind of like there's white ethnostatists, but they're like, there's too many different races in this country at this point. It's not really a possible thing. So if it was possible, I would be in favor of that. But like that America has become too diverse for that to even be an idea. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, your example is kind of,
I'm not calling you a white nationalist or like an ethnostatist. I'm saying that like you just think that like the diversity of religion has become too great to where you wouldn't be able to implement some sort of Christian nationalism without there being major problems.
Yeah. Your example, it sounds bad, but I would agree.
I debate a lot of
I'll
Like,
buy. I don't care.
yeah, I debate a lot of those people, and so
Yeah.
it's just like an example that comes to mind. Not trying to frame you. It's like an
No, I'd be a Christian nationalist, and it would be, yeah. If you're not part of this, you don't agree with this, you can leave, and or you can pretend, and you can assimilate, and you can go along. But I get along more with my, just to address the white. I'm not a white nationalist, but if my black neighbor is a Christian and he's based, and I'm gonna like him more than my white neighbor who has blue hair and she's lesbian, and
Sure.
so it's not so much about skin color, but more about the ideologies and what we believe in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do sound very Protestant. Like I've had that argument with
Yeah,
Andrew Wilson a bunch.
Orthodox people would call me a Protestant. Catholic people would call me a Protestant. I don't like that because I don't protest. I go to a Orthodox church when I go to church. I'm not catechumen. I don't plan on becoming one.
Well, so Baptists hold like
Yeah, I
the
was raised
Bible
Baptist.
as the ultimate authority. Like the Bible is like everything's supposed to be taken as literally as possible, unless it's obvious.
We don't
like,
hold it as the ultimate authority. It's the ultimate authority is Christ.
Right, but this is the message that they're giving us, right?
Yeah.
God gives us the Bible so that like the
Yeah.
communication to us is the Bible. That's where we get all of our information.
Yeah,
from.
that's our record. That
Yeah.
yeah.
And so for us, it is the ultimate authority on earth. It is the ultimate worldly authority, I guess, like outside of the, what's in heaven, like we don't have this like direct communication, but we have direct communication with the Bible. And so
If the Pope says something that disagrees with Scripture, then I'm going to say I don't like that Pope.
Right. Yeah. Because Andrew Wilson would say the Bible was made by the church. Like they put it together. They decided what books
They
made it, what books didn't make it.
compiled the books that we call the Bible today.
Mhm.
And even that, like an Orthodox Bible might have, if it's Ethiopian Orthodox, it's going to have 88 books in it. And then King James Bible is going to have 66 books. Catholics one's good. So I read all of it, and yeah, I don't.
I mean, the process I think was like the trustworthy thing. Not that the church was doing it; they could have gotten anybody to put it together. It was the process on the like consistency. Like they wanted everything that went in had to align with all of the other books. And if you had a book that just did not align with like the philosophy and the ideals and the teachings of the other books, then it just could not be part of that Bible. And so they would just do it like it was all a consistency test on whether or not it aligns with everything else. That seems to be the process that was trusted, not whether or not the church ordained it, but whether or not it was, consistent with the rest of the books.
Right. But they include some books like I forget what it's called. It's like
the Apocrypha.
Yeah, the Apocrypha. Well, like there's one. It's like David and the Dragon. It starts with a B. It's like, but the story is David and a dragon, and that's not in a Protestant canon, but it's in an Orthodox and a Catholic canon. But that story is clearly like David's a writer. David's writing. He's just writing stuff. So he's sitting in the field. He's a shepherd. He's writing poems. He's writing songs. He's writing stories. That's like a story that he wrote. And there's a reason why it's Apocrypha, because you're not getting any spiritual value out of reading this story. This is a story David wrote. So,
well, do you know who Not So Arrogant is?
Yeah.
So she's Christian, and she would say,
allegedly.
Yeah. Okay. She would say that all of the Bible is not meant to be taken literally. That like the way that everybody wrote back then was very like poetic and philosophical, in that nothing was ever meant to be like this literal story, but instead they always told things as like a moral of a story instead. And so they create a story to give you a moral value at the end. And that, like, if you go back through all even secular writings back then, they were all the same way. They would all teach that, like, write in the same way. And so this was not meant to be taken literally, and that it, like, Protestants are a new thing where they decided later to take everything very literally. Whereas it seems like, to me, if God was going to give us a message, if he was going to give us a Bible and something for us to understand him with, it would be written pretty literally. Like, it would be like a pretty direct message. It would not be this, like, very, just read it and get whatever you want from it. And, like, but however you feel when you read it, that's the message that I'm trying to give you. I feel like that would not be a thing that God would try to give us.
Yeah, it's not that. She's doing what Jordan Peterson tries doing, where you say it's all just archetypal stuff.
Yes.
It's an archetype.
It's saving your dad from the dragon.
Right. Yeah. And I disagree with that. I think, well, there is allegory and metaphor throughout the Bible. You have to know how to read.
But it seems obvious when it is. Like, it seems pretty obvious that it is an allegory when it's being given to you, especially like God, when Jesus is sitting on the rock teaching everybody. Seems pretty obvious he's giving allegories.
When David is writing the Psalms and it's a poem, and it's about, I walk with the sword through the valley of darkness, and of course this is allegory.
Right.
But when it says this is how God created the earth, like that's not an allegory. That's not a story. It's a story. And whether it's true or is it his story or is it...
That is a complicated topic now, because the more and more that there seems to be, like, proof that there was other things before humans, and that humans came way, like, millions and millions of years, hundreds of millions of years after tons of other animals that ruled the earth, and that, like, all, dinosaurs and all this stuff existed long before us, that it would almost be impossible for Adam and Eve to be there at the beginning. And so now more and more people are saying, yeah, maybe that was meant to be like an allegory, and that, like, the 7 days is just, like, representative of an amount of time that it took for him to, like, evolve us to humans. And, like, it's a pretty complicated question now within theology.
Yeah. And this is one I like. I'm slowly getting pushed farther and farther towards young earth.
Yeah.
I was
a young earth creationist. I left the church and religion because I realized that within the bubble that I was raised in, it was always told to me that was all nonsense. Crazy people thought this, that there's no real evidence for it. It's just stuff where people are trying to disprove God, and that's the only reason they say it. But then I look into it and I realize, oh man, it is so much the opposite. Like, they have actually just really just mountains of proof for this. And it's and once I realized that,
mountains of proof for old earth.
Yes. That, like, not so obviously, like, Big Bang Theory is kind of like
toothpicks built off of a fragile base.
When it comes to carbon dating, that's where things get pretty objective. Like, it's
no, carbon dating is garbage.
It's not.
It's
pretty
garbage.
consistent. Like, they can
only measure up to 50,000 years, and they're giving us 4 billion years.
Well, there's other things that, because, like, you can tear into, like, mountains and see, like, different
geographic column. The geographic column, you'll look at a tree growing through the geographic column, and so no, I think that's the worst argument for evolution and old Earth is.
Well, it depends on what you're looking at, like which, what mountains, what the makeup of the rock is, and things like that. But if you can see that there's,
what would mess up all of the carbon dating and the geographic column and all this stuff, one thing that would mess up all of that, a global flood.
Sure. But we don't have evidence of a global flood.
We do have evidence. We have lots of evidence of a global flood.
We have some evidence that is tangential to other things that kind of disprove it in areas. And so I
think the consensus in science is most scientists agree there was
there was a flood, but not a
Catastrophic.
global flood. That's the difference. And so, like, when I was young Earth creationist, okay, so the thing that people would ask me is, okay, so how do you explain like dinosaurs? How do you explain like like Pangea and like all of these different things? The explanation that I was given is that when the flood happened, obviously it was raining, but mostly because water was coming from the ground. And so water starts seeping up from the ground and flooding everything. And then that precipitates and starts this never-ending rain until all of the water can kind of settle in different areas. But that even at that time, before the flood, we just didn't have seasons. Everything was just kind of like 98 degrees all day, every day. That it was like 30% water, 70% earth, and
Like
then,
a terrarium.
yeah, kind of. So it comes up, the water comes up, and because the water settles separately and shifts hard during that 40 days and 40 nights, it ends up tilting the earth on its axis. That gives us seasons now. And dinosaurs may have just been on the ark, but they all died afterwards. That, well, say that they would have said dinosaurs, but that they all died
Dinosaur eggs.
afterwards because the seasons made it to where they couldn't live anymore, and that they would all just die off there. But that, like, yeah, we kind of know that dinosaurs didn't exist at the same time as humans. There's nothing in the Bible about like dinosaurs or anything like that.
Behemoth and Leviathan, Job 40 and 41.
So what? Okay.
Dragons are mentioned 130, something like 130 times throughout the Bible.
Yeah, sure. But we don't have evidence of dragons. So
A dragon is a dinosaur.
well, it could be, but we don't have
The
evidence
word
of that
dinosaur
type
didn't
of
come
dragon.
around till the 80s.
But I'm saying we don't have evidence of that type of dinosaur, like that type, like one that like with wings and
A terrible
multiple
lizard.
heads or things like that. Like we don't have evidence of these things. So,
We have writings in Job, and we have
right, but I'm saying
we
I'm
have
saying
writings
don't
from
have
all
bones.
over the
When I
world.
say evidence, I mean we don't have bones. We don't have like any sort of makeup of something that would
We have
say-
dinosaur bones.
We do, but not similar to a dragon.
A dinosaur is a dragon.
They don't have wings. They're not flying.
There's
They don't
dinosaurs.
breathe dragon.
You never heard of a pterodactyl?
Well, pterodactyl, sure, but that I don't think that's like seems very similar to a dragon. But
Dragon is just the word that we use for dinosaurs before dinosaurs. It's big lizards.
yeah, sure, maybe.
We just turned into a younger, but no, I used to say I don't believe in no 4 billion years or however billion years. I'm thinking Earth is like in the hundreds of thousands, but I keep getting pushed younger and younger as I look into it. So everything you said about Pangea, I believe in all that. I believe in Pangea. I believe tectonic plates shifting and all that stuff. I just think it happened faster than science says it did.
Okay. I mean, the consensus is pretty strong. Like, it is like 90, 95 plus, like, when it comes to, like, scientists and what they believe as far as, like, the age of the Earth and,
Well, it's not because the Earth has aged something like 40 billion years in the past 40 years. Every year it gets longer and longer and longer. We just got the James Webb Telescope, and now we're aging the universe. We're adding an extra 100 billion years to the age of the universe because the James Webb Telescope can see.
well, sure, the universe is different, though.
But
we've always
they've done
known
the same
we
thing
don't
with the
know.
Earth.
Well, but no, because
The age of the Earth was 10 billion years 20 years ago.
yeah,
Now it's 44 billion.
well, technology gets better. We're
That
able to-
means the Earth is aging something like 4 billion years every year.
well, no, it just means that we're getting better at dating. We're getting better.
Are we
at
getting
technology.
better, or do they just need more time to explain things?
Well, they need both. They need so different, like the more so like when they find out that the galaxy is expanding, right? Well, okay, so that's going to change like what they thought of the age of the galaxy, or sorry, not the galaxy, but the universe is expanding. And so that's going to change the age of it and how they understand how things initially started. And so once they find that out, now they have to take all of the other data and information they have and input that with this new information. And that is the scientific process, is that you are just like gathering more information and then testing and trying to come to the best conclusion. And that, yeah, with new information, we're going to come to new conclusions.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with the Bible, is that like when you're religious, you can't really update with new information because you already have this set thing. And so any new information, even if there's a 95% consensus, you either have to choose this scientific like data and evidence, or you would have to choose that over your religion. And so it becomes a very complicated dichotomy.
When 50, so over the past so many years, I think it's usually between 50 and 52% of scientists are Christians.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have Christian scientists who are very good at their job, a lot of Christians say they found God through a microscope or through a telescope.
Sure.
When you start to look at the fine tuning of the universe and how all this stuff comes together, that leads a lot of people to God. If I can find Christian scientists who can,
but if you talk to those people, they're going to have a very different conception of like God, where it'll be closer to what Jordan Peterson thinks than what you would think. Like, and it's and that's why I'm like, when I talk about, they're starting to say like, oh, the 7 days is actually just like an allegory for an amount of time for evolution and stuff like that. Those scientists who do believe in God and believe in the Bible, that's the type of thing that they would believe in. They're not going to like go to young earth creation.
there's something we call gap theory, which is that between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2, there's no amount of time given.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void. And then Genesis 1:2, he starts going into the creation. There's an argument that time period could be 44 billion years. And that's when all this stuff was happening on these balls of rock that are floating through space. And then God says, let there be light. And that's when creation begins. It's an interesting theory. There's a lot of ways.
Well, but even with like the Big Bang Theory and all of these things, in order for even like planets to form, there has to be a sun in the middle that is like using gravity to put them all into circulation, so that all of these like comets and rocks and everything can eventually form into planets. And so there would still have to be a light there from the beginning in order for anything to
even happen. Yeah. I'm not a proponent of gap theory. It's just but my point is, there are Christians who can justify this stuff using science and using real science, because a lot of the science that you use to point toward evolution or to point toward a Big Bang theory is historical science. Historical science is a pseudoscience because we can't observe what happened before we were there. We don't have a time machine.
Sure. But that's why like we just get as much data as we can and then come to the best conclusion possible with that data. And that with the data that we have, these are just the like best conclusions that we could come to. But it's possible that there's more data eventually that will kind of change everything. But from the younger creationist perception, you just have to have a hope that data eventually comes along that does make all of that make sense. Whereas as of right now, we just don't have it.
I think there's a lot of data for a historical flood. I think the fossil record shows a global flood. I think there's a lot of evidence for this stuff. What was the other thing I was going to say? I was just going to give you an example of, so you have a candle, it's 10 inches long, and you burn it, and you watch how long it takes to burn down. It's burning at a minute per inch. And so when it's at 5 inches, you can assume it took 5 minutes to burn this candle. If you walk into a room that you've never been in, and you see a candle that looks like the one you have, and it's halfway burned, can you assume that it's been burning for 5 minutes?
No, because you don't know how long it was.
Right, exactly. You don't know if the window's open, maybe the air's blowing and that's making it burn faster. Maybe there was some sort of accelerant in the wick for the first. Maybe it's a 20-inch candle that looks like the one you have. You don't know. You can't know these things. So that's the problem with historical science and trying to guess how old the Earth is. We weren't there. We can't measure it. We can't examine it. We can look at what we have now. And I think both sides.
But even the people who wrote Genesis weren't there either. So, like, there's that would.
But I would
apply
say
to
they
a
were
lot of
divinely
things.
inspired.
Sure, but that's kind of the problem, though, is that like if we start to use the standard of either you have to be there or it's hard for me to believe it, that's going to apply to like most of the Old Testament as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough.
But yeah, that was kind of the breaking point for me as a even I think it was just like 3 years ago.
And so you were Christian and you were young Earth critic?
32 years, 33 years of my life, and then I guess I'm 37 now. So
And what pulled you away is
2020
intellectualism got you.
2022, the end of 2022 is when I left here. And
it was due to science and just looking
yeah.
into
So
it.
at first I really like animal documentaries. I started watching a lot of animal documentaries, and with the algorithm on YouTube, started to come lots of evolution like things. And honestly, as a Christian, I even felt guilty just watching. Like even with it on autoplay, I felt guilty of it even just being there on my thing. But I was interested in like what the arguments were and what they had to say. But I didn't really believe it until I would start like looking up some of the things that they said and start to realize that like yes, there's just like they feel like there is more evidence of evolution than like anything ever. Like there's just more evidence of that. And so that was like, okay, that's kind of confusing for me, but all right. And then I watched more things on like human evolution and that there were like they have all of these different types of humans that existed long before like our young Earth from
Neanderthals?
From creation. Yes, like
You ever hear that Neanderthals are the 900-year-old humans from the Bible?
But it's not just Neanderthals. There's so many others. There were like 22 different species of humans that existed all over the earth. Then I read a book called Sapiens that is just the history of mankind. And it talks about like when we believe humans first started to become like consciousness and gain what, sapient minds.
Sapiens.
And, yes. And that, like, yes, reading that book, just like that was just kind of it for me. It was like, okay, well, like the amount of like proof and information they have here is, to me, I was always told this was just like quackery and went somehow, 33 years without ever really looking into it much or checking on it much. And then, yeah, like once I realized just the mountains of evidence that exists there, that was all I needed.
Interesting. Yeah, that's. I like hearing about what pulled people away from Christianity or what led them to it, and
well,
so
because I
intellectualism.
yeah, because
the intellectual pursuit of.
And that is a rare answer because I know that as a Christian,
I think a lot of people.
I never heard it. Like I normally I would end up because I debated apologetics for a really long time, and that the arguments that I would hear most often were things like, "Oh, Christians were mean," or "I went to this church and they kicked us out because my son was gay," or like just dumb stuff like that.
Like resentment for their parents.
Yes, exactly. Like it was just, and it's like, okay, like some people are going to call themselves Christians and not be good Christians. Like, what does that have to do with like your belief in like Jesus dying on the cross, like your faith in God? Like, what does that have to do with it? Like, bad people are always going to exist. This is stupid. And so that was the answer that I heard all the time from most people, and they always annoyed the crap out of me. But then, yes, my path ended up being drastically different from anybody else that I knew.
That's interesting. Huh. Well, I'm gonna go up and watch this other debate and get another beer, but
Are they still doing the Israel debate?
yeah, that one's over.
That one's over. Who's debating now?
It's, uh,
Probably Fabian.
Yeah.
I think Fabian's debating somebody. But all right, man.
Yeah, it was
Josh,
good talking to you,
Brett?
man. Josh. Yeah.
Appreciate it, Josh.
Thank you,
Have a good one.
We'll have to talk later.
Yeah, sure. I told Fabian to come hang out earlier. He said he was going to come, but I think every time he walked over, we had somebody else already sitting down. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing well? You want to come sit down for a minute?
I don't have to be anywhere for the next 2 seconds.
Nice. Okay, so this is Britt. He's the one who's putting on DebateCon.
Well, I'm not putting on DebateCon. I'm putting on this party.
This,
Yeah.
okay, so we're calling it DebateCon. But, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a modern day DebateCon that's happening, I guess, down the road, right?
Yeah, it's at the airport, Hilton, I believe.
Okay.
So, and this is in support of that.
Yeah, yeah. They're not in competition with them. We're trying to take away from them, but yeah. What got you to do this?
Well, I went to the DebateCon in New Jersey, and I thought it was awesome. But most of the social stuff was happening outside, and the debates were people were watching the debates, but there was also debates happening in the hallways or in the I guess lobby, and I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I told James and I had a conversation about it, and I said, it really seems like that you're really missing out on the social aspect of this, because these are people who never get to meet each other, who don't know each other except parasocially through the internet. What if you just had a social area to go along with the debates?
Yeah.
The debates here are the afterthought. This was all about having people here to mingle, talk, chat, and root for their favorite guys and talk shit to each other.
Yeah. And
have a great time. And the debates are great if it's awesome. But they're kind of they're secondary to what we're actually doing here, which is everybody getting together, having a good time. In this case, I did all of this, paid for everything. All the food, the building, all of the technology upstairs. That's all.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I was lucky that it was this close to.
Yeah, I was so glad that you said that you come down, because, like I said, it was very difficult to get someone. And you're not even a real leftist; you're like a centrist.
Moderate. Yeah, I'm not a leftist.
Right.
Leftist, but yeah, moderate liberal.
You're more of a classic liberal, I guess, than a than a dyed in the wool leftist, socialist.
Definitely not.
Kill the rich kind of guy, and that. So we were lucky to get you. Honestly, it was really tough, and to get someone to act. Now, in one case, it was literally that they had a prior commitment. In almost every other case, it was like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and then 2 days later, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, I asked. Somebody said that I was the only lefty here. And I was like, I thought Tyler was lefty, and they're like,
Right, yeah, that's exactly it. Tyler is he claims to be center left, but and he claims to be a classic liberal, but he's super pro Trump.
Yeah, okay.
So he's he might be more MAGA than the MAGA guy.
That's kind of like what I've been for the last 3 years. It's no, I'm a conservative. I'm just more of a neocon So I'll vote for like Joe Biden or somebody like that over somebody like Trump because he's very anti-neocons and like the MAGA people want to stop the neocons and everything. And those are my people. So like counterpoints and people like that was more so my group. But then after a while, I felt like there's so many people like the Lincoln Project and like all these people who don't ever want to claim just being like a liberal or a Democrat. Like everybody's like a progressive or a leftist, and they all hate the Democrats and they all just talk shit about Democrats and liberals nonstop. And so I was like, somebody needs to start like owning this label. And if I'm gonna expect other people to do it,
to be honest, I talked to my mom, who's a blue dog Democrat, Kennedy Democrat, and she looks at what's going on with Biden and Kamala and even Hillary. And so, this is not my party.
Yeah.
Like this is not what I believe in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's who the Democrats are now. And she's like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know, so she doesn't believe me. Actually, she literally thinks I'm lying to her that these are until I show the Democrat next to the name. She doesn't. And I think that there are people, you know, and you know, obviously, I'm a constitutional.
Is she more
conservative.
like Dixiecrat?
I guess, she's a Kennedy Democrat. Like I don't want to murder what that means, right? Because I don't remember anymore what that. Yeah, but she's conservative on some things, liberal on others.
I know a bunch of in Georgia and Alabama, like there's a lot of people.
Yeah, they call them blue dog Democrats.
Yes, they still call themselves Democrats, but they will never vote for a Democrat. They hate Hillary Clinton. They hate Joe Biden. They hate those people. But then you ask them, you're like, oh, so you're a Republican? They're like, no, I hate Republicans.
And I think that honestly, and I tell liberals this all the time. I'm like, you guys really need to take your party back. You guys have been corrupted and maligned by all of these socialist, semi-socialist, all of this stuff. And I've heard you. One of the things I felt really comfortable about you coming here is you were on a panel with Fatty and some others, and you were just taking them to task over some of their very, very far left and socialist views. And you're like, no, that's not how that's going to work. This is not. You can't say that. And I thought I was like, huh. It's weird that
I remember you saying this. I don't remember what it was that we were debating. Though you told me this before, and I kept thinking, what were we debating? When did that happen? Because
it stuck in my mind. Yeah. Because I had a different picture of you based on the claim. You're liberal, right? Sure. So when you say you're liberal to me, unless you're very clear, I immediately go to you're a socialist. Moron. Or you're an ideologue like Soy Pill that just doesn't,
So this is like a frustration for me because as like growing up Republican, I had the same view, but then like the more I like started talking to liberals and people on the left, the more I realized there is a drastic like spectrum of people. Where you have leftists, which we would consider like Marxists, communists, like socialists, those sorts of people. Then we have progressives, and that's going to be like AOC, like Bernie Sanders, like the Squad, like those sorts of people. And then you have like progressive liberals that are like.
It gets confusing.
Yes, and then you have like liberals, and then you got neoliberals, and you got classical liberals. And they're like, yes, there is just this whole spectrum there of drastically different people that all exist. Now, I would say I like Joe Biden. I think that he was like one of the greatest presidents of my lifetime. But
obviously, I would very strongly disagree.
But yeah, a lot of people view him a lot farther left than I do. So yeah.
Yeah, and so I consider myself a constitutional conservative. I align for the most part with the Republican Party. Not on everything, obviously. I think that that every single time they vote for taxes and bigger government instead of less government and realistic taxation. Every single time I'm like, what are you guys doing?
I just listened to somebody the other day who was saying, I forget his name, Tom Lyle or something like that. Chat, tell me what was that guy's name? Tom something that we were listening to, but he was saying that he likes the Republican Party because he cares about like deficit spending more than anything. And I think he was talking to Destiny, and Destiny's like, if you care about deficit spending more than anything, you would be voting for Democrats. Like Republicans have been the worst with deficit spending from like first George Bush to George W. Bush to Trump. Like this is all just like the biggest spenders across the board. And Democrats like Clinton, Obama, Clinton and Obama both did like audits on the government, like deregulated things and like spent less and was bringing things down a bit. And that it is interesting, especially with like the Tea Party Republicans that were there before Trump, like that was their whole thing was less spending, and it still didn't.
Well, and this gets into like, regardless of which side you're on, you should be for term limits. We need to get rid of professional politicians. You know, nobody should make their career.
So you wouldn't support Trump if he tried going for a third term?
No, absolutely not. No. I think, you know, and that's, you know, it's I have a hard time. So like Marsha Blackburn is my senator. She's coming up again for re-election, and I'm like, man, I really wish somebody would run against her, because it's not that she's not doing, in my opinion, a good job. I'm sure your side dislikes her quite a bit. That's okay. But she's been there, I think, 8 years now. And I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah, I don't really care about term limits all that much. Like I'm okay with career politicians when it comes to Congress. I don't want it when it comes to the presidency.
But the Congress is where all the pain is happening. That's where people go in making $180,000 a year, but come out with $10 million, and it's because that's where the corruption starts, and that's where we need to get it
correct, but also term limits would put just like a faster timeline on what people call the revolving door, and whether or not I believe in that revolving door as much or not. If people do think that the revolving door is a big problem, term limits would just make that happen faster, where like their time in office is limited to getting as much favors done for as many people as possible, so that they have.
But I think that's a good thing. I think if they have to get it done that fast, it's going to be so obvious that they'll get it hopefully sanctioned, possibly go to jail, and once that happens, we'll see actual change. Everyone talks about change, but nobody wants change. Everyone keeps voting for the same bullshit. Everyone keeps saying, and people say, well, I just, revolving door, term limits, leave things as they are. But that's the problem, is that these guys get in and they dig in like ticks, and they'll never get them out. And it's incredibly hard to get rid of an incumbent. And once they're there and they have all those alliances, they're untouchable. They're untouchable. Like, you can't put one in jail. Like, why can't we put a senator in jail? That absolutely should be like if they break the law. The reason why is because they know they're going to be there for the next 10 years or 20 years, and this person owes them favors, and that person owes them favors, and it does nothing but cause corruption in our government. And if people are serious, every single person that decries Trump should be voting for term limits. Every single one, because if you think Trump is corrupt, just look no further than your nearest congressman, and you will see the maximum amount of corruption that Trump can't even come close to touching.
Yeah, I personally, every time I get into debates with people about corruption and stuff, I just don't see like a lot of evidence for the corruption.
I mean, it's insane the stuff that goes on, and we would hear about it more if they once they were gone, and they had no more protections. They couldn't influence policy or anything like that. So it's just a professional politician angle that is screwed us so badly. And like I said, everybody asks for less corruption, but nobody actually wants that. They want their side to be corrupt and nobody else's, which is absolutely insane to even think about, right? Because if your side is corrupt, but you're saying, no, my side's not corrupt, but your side's corrupt, well, then obviously both sides are equally corrupt or worse than you even can imagine. And so both sides need to be reined in, and there is no other way to rein them in. There just isn't.
Yeah, like I said, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of corruption for me, the big difference was as like somebody who was in the neocon, the spending was like important to me that Republicans just seem to spend a lot more. The I felt like the things that I grew up like caring about, like, taking care of veterans, making sure that like 9/11 heroes being taken care of, like all these things, that like spending wasn't going towards like kind of ridiculous things, but more like things that will help Americans and that matter. That like when it came to immigration, like, we're going to deport people who come in illegally, but we want people to come in as a tool to like benefit our economy and things like that. It just felt like Republicans were moving away from that, and Democrats were moving towards
I think
that.
there is a lot of.
And so,
I mean, I can freely admit that I disagree with a lot of the rhetoric that comes from the right on immigration, because I think they take it. It's too far. Just like I think the left takes the rhetoric too far, I think the right does too, and it's somewhere in the middle is where I would say I fall. For me, my wife's Chinese. She came here legally. She came here. She was in the process of getting her
well, it's
green
not just
card
the
and then
rhetoric.
citizenship.
I mean, like Biden and Obama set records on deportation,
Right.
But then Trump like making a big deal about like as he's coming in saying like we're going to go after the criminals, the violent criminals, like this, that, and the other. But then it gets in, and not only are like maybe I think it's 25% of the people who went to CCOT had any criminal record at all, and only 6% had a violent criminal record. But then even after that, he's like getting rid of people who already have their visas, who are here on asylum, who are here as refugees, who are here on green cards, like just taking all those things away from the people who came in legally and came in like the right way. They still taking all of that away from those people just feels like, yeah, so we don't really care about them coming the right way. We just want to get rid of people.
Yeah, I just think that it's I disagree with some of the rhetoric that comes out, because it seems so odd, right? Like I do believe that people are able to come here. I disagree with raising the number. I think they've raised it to 2 million now. It was 1 million a year, I think. I think they've raised it another 1 million. I disagree with that, especially if we're trying to deport. Like, look, let's give a clear objective. Either we're going to deport people, we're going to stick, and cut it to 500,000 for 2 years. Why does it hurt? It doesn't hurt us, right? Like,
well, the thing that again, like when I say like I want to use it as a tool, we've been in a labor shortage since 2020. Like since COVID hit and everybody dropped out of work, boomers retired at insane rates.
Yeah.
Millennials are not having kids and they're not replacing the workforce. The immigration was down for those like 2 years after when like we had every country just kind of had their borders shut off. And we even had tons of immigrants leaving and going home to stay with their families during that. And so like we've had this massive labor shortage that in the industries that I was in, it was killing us. Like it was truly killing us. And wages outpaced inflation, especially for low skilled labor. And they still just can't hire people. They're raising their wages so fast and still can't find people to work. And so getting people in legally and making paths for that, like legal citizenship is really important.
I don't agree with that 100%. I think that when we actually take a realistic look at the entire board, what we're actually seeing is we're seeing people just choose not to work. And large, not like
it's not,
the largest.
So it's not that they're choosing not to work. It's actually that they're working less. So because millennials don't have kids, they don't have families, they don't have to work as much. They don't have to so they go get roommates, they go get apartments.
Yeah, that's true.
They stay with other people. They have to pay, they have lower bills. And then they choose to say, okay, well, if boomers average like 45 hours a week throughout their lives working. Millennials are saying, well, if I only have to work 35 hours to pay all my bills, and then I can play video games, hang out with my girlfriend, hang out with my friends, and do all this other shit, I'm going to do that. And so now
there's definitely some truth to that, but I think
you're losing like 10 hours per person. That's a lot of hours.
Well, even in, I mean, that's a good point, but even in jobs where they can't just work 30 or 35 hours a week, there are people that are just choosing not to do those jobs, and they're able to live, I guess, the way they want to. I wouldn't live that way, but there's a lot of different things going on here that it's hard to have just a 5-minute conversation about. But like here in Nashville, for example, back during COVID and immediately after, when everybody was moving into the city from all over the country, they overbuilt. At one point in time, they had 18,000 empty apartments that had a surplus. Now, people built those, right? Jobs were out there. People were building them. But they're not people that are willing to pay to live in those apartments. And it's actually caused a big problem in the local economy here, because the builders can't get loans to build the next project. The banks are afraid of getting stuck with these empty buildings. It's been a big problem. And this is, and I'm just using Nashville as an example, but it's countrywide, honestly. And we can put some of the blame on COVID and all of the different migrations across country, people leaving here and going there. We can put some of the blame on that, sure. We can put the blame somewhat on people going into more of the gig economy, although all the data that I've seen shows people moving out of the gig economy now and back into more traditional jobs.
I think the biggest part is millennials not replacing the population. Like that is
a huge problem, but you know, and that's a much deeper conversation to have.
But the problem is that like even if we get like Gen Zers to start having kids and stuff like that, we're still gonna have to wait another 18, 20, 30 years before, because even now we have extended adolescence. Kids stay with their parents until they're like 30 now, and like and so there's
Gen Z gets me. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whichever you want to call them. The you know, like my son, you know, he's 15. His generation gives me hope, a lot of hope. They're actually conservative, like not just like lip service to conservative. They're actually conservative. They are respectful. They're polite for the most part. They want to work. They want to get out there. They don't want to live at home. My son is like,
well, millennials, just to be clear, when millennials went into the workforce, they were working insane hours at the beginning.
Sure.
Once COVID hit, this was like another along like an insane line of like, you know, the housing crisis, the, you know, you COVID, you got like just a million problems one after another, to where they were all just eventually like, fuck this, like I'm done. Like I'm just
and look, I'm not one of those that just like, well, millennials are the problem, right? Like I'm not one of those guys. Look, we deal with the problem every day. I don't care who made the problem. I'm not pointing fingers here. I just want to deal with the problem and move on. But like, you know, like I said, my son is like already ready. Like when he's 18, he is out. Like I'm out. Now he has also decided, he's decided he wants to go to West Point. He's trying, you know, he's working hard every single day to meet that goal. You know, even if he misses that goal, he's going to get in. You know what he told me? This is a 14-year-old kid. Last year, I'm having a conversation with my son, and I'm like, and he's asking me about jobs, and I'm like, well, you know, he's like, you know, I should back up. We went to Oshkosh, which is in Wisconsin, for the biggest, I guess, air show in the world, right? And they have a huge hiring group of, you know, job fair kind of deal there as well. And he listened to the guys, and it's a good, you know, being an airline pilot, going, you know, it's a good program for a young man to get into. And so he's asking me about it, and the questions are weird, right? Like, I'm like, why are you so concerned about this? And he's like, well, and he was also talking about going into the military. And I'm like, what? Why is this all of a sudden you're talking about going into the military, and you're talking about, you know, or you know,
does he play sports?
No. And he does clay targets. He shoots clay targets.
Really?
That's it.
You do is it RFC or what's the like high school military like with the
ROTC.
ROTC?
Yeah, they don't have
No?
that. He goes to a private school. Then.
Okay.
So anyway, he
It seems rare. It's just like for me,
Yeah.
like I grew up, playing football and
Yeah.
basketball. Like for us, it was very common that we would go on to go to like West Point or military or
Let me
something.
tell you, this is what he said. He's like, well, college is really expensive, and I don't want to be a burden to you. 14-year-old kid, and I'm like, this gives me hope for Gen Alpha, late Gen Z, whatever he is considered, because he was already thinking he could not go to college, go to a flight school program where they'll pay for his training. He walks into a $90,000 a year job.
Yeah.
And of course, he has to pay back the money, and it's not free. But can you imagine 14 years? I did not think like that when I was 14.
I know it was common in the area that I was in. Like even where I grew up, it was for the most part everybody that I was around was all very wealthy area, very like wealthy kids, and most of the kids were like getting jobs in like middle school, trying to save up for their college funds and stuff. Is Jake still here?
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say if we don't, I don't know.
Give me a minute. Sorry.
You're good.
That's all right. Come on around, man. Good to meet you.
Yes, sir. I have met you in person.
James.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. We're live right now. Give me like 5-10 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk. All right.
I'm gonna go back to the base.
Yeah. Go up. Be quiet when you go in. We're live.
Is Rob here yet?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Because I was gonna say I don't know. I don't know if I've seen him, but I was gonna say
They were doing debate prep all day. They probably went to dinner, and they're probably going to come here after. But we haven't been able to get a hold of him. He called early today and said that he was doing debate prep and he would be here later.
So do we have? What is he prepping for?
I don't think he's prepping Andrew.
Oh, okay.
That's his job. Okay. But I mean,
well, I was gonna say if you guys want to just like sit a couple of people down instead of it just being me and Rob, we can get Jake in there and we'll.
So the thing about my son saying this is we're reasonably well, right? Like, and he knows it. Like, he doesn't expect it. He doesn't expect that money.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this a few times. The way that we've set everything up, the way my wife and I've set everything up. The day he turns 18, he's a millionaire. But he doesn't know that, and he doesn't act it.
Mm-hmm.
He was literally talking about going into Marines to get the GI Bill so he could go to college, so he wouldn't be a burden.
Nice.
You think about 14-year-old kids.
Yeah, 14 is probably not. Yeah, I don't know.
That are thinking,
that way at 14.
hey, I don't want to be a burden to my parents.
I wasn't even thinking about whether or not I wanted to go to college or anything like that at 14.
So, and a lot of his classmates were like that.
Yeah.
A lot of his classmates are like really like down to earth, solid human beings and super respectful. I just can't. I mean, Gen Alpha gives me like the most hope for the future.
Nice.
I mean, yeah.
Nice.
Now this may be because I'm in Tennessee and it's we're a very red area, very red state, but I don't know. My son's cool, and it's hopefully everything's really going to work out well for us. But I'm really glad you came to the event. I'm really glad I got to sit down. I really enjoyed our conversation too. I know I keep looking out to see what's going on because I got to run all this stuff.
Yeah, but I'm glad you did this. This is really cool, and I'm just glad you had all that up. Am I able? So I guess I realized, I don't have room for there's not room for my cameras and everything up there. So
you can't, there's
well, I was gonna say it'd probably be best if I just shared your to my channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You should be able to do that in StreamYard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I normally use OBS. I was planning on using OBS. Apparently,
I have Streamlabs OBS.
Well, I was gonna say they stopped making the drivers for this, and so I can't play games on it. I can't stream on it anymore. So I have to use I just went and got like my old StreamYard account and pulled it up, but it's a free account.
Yeah, so what you should be able to do is you're live now.
If we
so-
could just do it on, even if we're able to just add it like on your computer or anything. I
Yeah, we
don't
should be
know if
able
that's
to.
possible.
Yeah, I think so. I think the easiest thing to do is to have us add you in as a guest,
Mhm.
and then you restream us.
Okay.
I'll have them send you the link.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just just forward you the link. You click in, you'll come in, and then you should be able to just share screen through StreamYard.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. All right. I gotta go see what's going on, and I really appreciate you
Thanks
coming
for
out.
doing this. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
Later.
I'm just like I was really like, who's gonna debate?
Yeah, well, I'm I don't know. You guys are saying until you said you have it till midnight, you said originally, right?
Yeah,
But you're gonna start closing up around 10 most likely?
So we want to do the debate between 8 and 10. for
Yeah.
you, and then around 10, after 10, I just want everybody to kind of socialize and start cleaning up, breaking down all these tables and get food back up and all stuff. And,
Okay.
not that you have to stay and help out. Obviously,
Yeah, no, I can. Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you guys wanted to continue and just kind of like sit around arguing and shit, I'd be down to do whatever. But all right, cool. Thank you.
We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, do your thing. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was glad he invited me. He just popped up into my chat one day and was like, "Hey, want to come to Tennessee?" Or at first he said, "Do you want to do a debate?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Just message me on Discord." He's like, "I want to set you up to do a debate." And then like after asking him a couple of questions in my chat, eventually he was like, "Yeah, we're doing it in person in Tennessee." And I was like, "Oh, I forget who." Somebody in chat was like, "You probably should have led with that." And, but he said, "We're doing it in person." So I was like, "Where are you doing it?" He's like, "Tennessee." And I was like, "Where in Tennessee?" He's like, "Nashville." I was like, "Oh, it's not far from me at all, actually. That'll be really easy." So they paid for the Airbnb. They paid for food here. They paid for, this whole venue and everything. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. I did expect there to be like a lot of other streamers here, and I expected that if other streamers were going to be here, other people would be streaming and everything. But no, I'm the only other person here streaming. They've got the stream upstairs going for the debate. And then, yes, everybody else is just out socializing the entire time and hanging out and getting drunk. A ton of people hanging out there. So, but yeah, I messaged James from Modern Day Debates because I knew that they were going to be here as well, and they're doing a multi-day event. And so I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be in Tennessee, so if you guys want somebody else, I can come and do some debates as well." And he's like, "Damn," he's like, "We don't really do politics anymore." I was like, "Okay." And then when I talked to Grid said, he's like, "I've gotten a little frustrated with Modern Day Debates because they stopped doing politics." He's like, "So we decided to do politics here so that there was still a debate con for the politics people." And so, yeah, that's those cane back chairs are highbrow. Everything here is really nice. Like the venue's really nice. I showed there's like motorcycles all around. There's guitars hanging all along the thing. Here, actually,
So I gotta get up and go to the bathroom pretty soon, anyways. But I'll walk around and kind of show you guys everything. I can just connect my phone to this. It's also getting a little chilly, so I get to put on my very cool tomfoolery jacket. My phone screen cracked. Looking drippy? Yes, this is very nice. Very nice. Alex got this from. This is the tomfoolery jacket. Goes from purple to black up at the top. Fades up to black. This light purplish pink down here. Fades up to the top. And then the collar has you got the mesh here. Just like my, some of my backgrounds and stuff. Got all the mesh on here and then on the collar, blue on the inside. Got the blue and green logo up here. Alright. I'm trying to send myself the link. Alright, so let's see if I can make this work. Alright, so I'm going to show you this. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I think that should be better. All right. Here we go. Yeah, so this is where I'm set up. You can see those are the chairs right there. We got a lot more up here. Here's the guitars and everything. We got security over here playing the banjo. Yeah, they have all the guitars lined up. Then they got motorcycles here. Yes.
You know, I was kind of looking forward to the exchange that I was going to have with you on the left wing, right wing side.
Bro, initially they told me that we were going to debate.
Okay, that's what
I was like, okay, cool. And then they were like, well, we don't have anybody to debate Rob. I just so you know I'm on stream, but yeah, they're like, I don't have anybody to debate Rob. Will you debate him? And I was like, I don't mind. I was like, I've debated him like 100 times. I don't really have anything else to debate him. Right? No, I've had tons of one-on-ones. Yeah, so I was like, I don't really have anything to debate on. So he's like, well, I'll ask Rob. Apparently, Rob's also like, yeah, I don't really know what we would debate. Like, so I was like, but I haven't debated Jake a whole lot, so if you want to hit me back up with Jake, he's like, okay, yeah. But then came back and it's like, yeah, we're still gonna have you debate Rob. So
Okay, so
I told him just a minute ago. I said, if I was like, I know we're like the last ones to go. If we still don't have a topic, they said just sit down and like just figure something out. And so I was like, you want to just like throw other people in there and have Jake come and sit down with us and everything? I was like, I would be cool with that. So he's like, okay, cool, but I don't know what to plan.
okay, well, fair enough. I will tell you this though, I was kind of looking forward on the left wing, right wing balance stuff. But we're not gonna do it tonight.
Oh, was there another thing, or were you going to be on the?
Yeah, because I was thinking that I was gonna do that with you, but I debated Tyler on the Israel stuff.
Oh, that is right. That's what I had said that we were initially going to debate. Yeah.
We did the Israel stuff, but I was just like, hey man, another time maybe we can do the actually on the Grit's channel. I wouldn't mind doing the left wing, right wing vibe.
I was gonna say, dude, apparently even like at the Airbnb, we're gonna be doing like other streams and debates and stuff there.
Yeah, that's what told me about that.
Yeah, if you want to do it there, you can come over. And I might be leaving tomorrow morning. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, we'll see. I've got other people I got to get back to soon.
He said he's going to go on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Rob's gonna find a topic.
He's gonna what?
He's gonna find a topic, man.
Oh yeah.
You guys are gonna fucking.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, I'm sure we just sit down. Yeah, I was like, I'm sure we'll be able to find something to argue about.
Oh yeah. Or you can just a conversation you guys are gonna play.
So the other day, that's why this is going down. The other day, talking around, and he's like, "You have a topic?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't had time to get a hold of Tom's. You know, he's very busy." Yeah. We figured out that he's like, maybe it's better if we just don't have a topic. We'll settle it there.
Yeah.
And he's like, almost like that better. And that stuck with me. And then it was hard to get a hold of him. Like, that's not a joke. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy.
It's not even that. Some of it's busy. Some of it's that my sleep schedule. I wake up at like 2 to 4 p.m.
And you do
I
9 hour streams, bro.
Yes, and then I stream from like 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. to like 6 a.m. And so yeah, it's it like that fills up like my whole day. So
Yeah, that's right. So I don't do that. And so it was hard to get, and I'm like, you know what? It's going back and forth to try and find a topic is going to be way more painful than just
Sit and go after.
there will be something.
it's always easy. Like even when I do like call-in shows, you just say,
Yeah.
We have a lot of food. Is that a possibility if someone could pull a party?
I mean, dude, you do you, bro.
I do love me.
Tomfoolery. Tom, you're progressive, right?
Liberal, yeah, like moderate liberal, like moderate liberal, like not progressive, definitely not progressive.
What's his name on the t-shirt? Classic liberal. He just doesn't like the term classic. I can already
And
he's got the perfect bald head. It works perfect. And you look like Mr. Clean.
I've literally been called like I've been at neocon until literally like 8 months ago. I started calling myself a liberal. Like been a neocon like the whole fucking time.
The time that I was on panel with you, I was just like, this guy's a fucking liberal. That's why I went after you so
But
hard.
that was within the last like 9 months. Like yeah, like I said, like I've been
Yeah.
more of like a counterpoints like neocon sort of like.
Okay, well, like with Connor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, really quick, I'm gonna take this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys around. So they have more motorcycles in here as well. I don't think. I don't know what happened to the lights. Yeah, I guess earlier it was much brighter in here. But that was again with all of like the natural light coming in through here. So I don't know why I can't see the chat. Oh, there it is. But yeah, they have like all of these motorcycles. We were gonna set them all up behind my stream. I just didn't want to go through like all the trouble of moving everything around and kind of doing all that. Then yeah, there's security here. We got all these like drinks and everything here, and then yeah, still all the food, all that up there. Yeah, everybody's hanging out here. They've all been talking. Yeah, I'm not even done. And then I'll show you guys upstairs real quick, but that's where the debates are happening right now. Doesn't stream very well? What do you mean? Are we cutting in and out?
You're actually like buy something from an American company, right? You're not funny, you know, that access that is US dollars, right? Stays within the local and trade within the local. The problem is that if I, let's say I need yeah, sure, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? I need this product, right? So I'm going to buy this product no matter what. If I buy this product at $20 or $30 more, then you have to compare it to what could that $20 or $30 in economy gone to, but I have to also meaningfully increase the value of my life. Because if you're going to $20, where did that where did that $20 come? But now it's like he lost that $8. Yeah, it is. It's not as good.
So yeah, this is what Ryan. What's wrong with the stream? No, it's just quality. You can hear and see it. It's just choppy and sounds. Oh, yeah. This is on my phone, so this is
because StreamYard kind of sucks. Everything's set up just kind of last minute, just thrown together. Yeah, they already, all the tables moved. There we go. But I'm assuming we'll have to start another stream in a little bit to get the debate up. So yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. But yeah, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. I think there's a link in the description. Join the Discord. You'll get a notification when the stream pops up, or just go ahead and turn on your notifications with YouTube. But YouTube sometimes isn't great about notifying people, so best if you join the Discord. You'll always get a notification every time we go live or post a new video, anything like that. So yeah, join the Discord. I'll be back on. Looks like about 45 minutes. So yeah, 45 minutes. We'll be back on. Appreciate you guys hanging out. This is fun. I'm glad I was able to do something here because, yeah, I would have gone crazy if I had to actually talk to people. Like a normie, like I'm a freaking low-level chatter. No way. So yeah, so glad I was able to talk to people and everybody on. It worked out to where there were a bunch of people coming and sitting down. Thankfully, people were finding people to come sit down so that I didn't have to keep getting up and going and finding other people to come hang out. And yeah, it worked out really well. I like the hoodie. Yeah, it doesn't, no hood. It is just. But yes, this is the one from the store. So it's got the mesh look on it. Yeah. Yes, on the collar. This is all fades from purple to black as it gets up. They said just a minute ago that I had to be a liberal because I wore my own name on my chest. I expect that like Andrew and like a bunch of the Crucible people will show up with their stuff on as well. But that was like one of the hopes is when Alex paid for this on my birthday, it's immediately like, oh man, I really hope I get that in time to go so that I have my logo on, I have my merch on when I go do the debate. So. I'm actually gonna buy one of those. Yeah, these are sick. We did just come out with a new shirt. So we're probably gonna get more of them. But there's a new shirt, comes in a bunch of different colors, and it's a picture of Trump that says nobody does treason better than me. So got a little
have a little Trump cartoon on the shirt. But yeah, we'll come out with a bunch more. I guess graphic tees like that with goofy stuff like that. Yeah, I was hoping to talk to Fabian and Liberty before I got off. I thought they were supposed to be done already, but I guess they're gonna end right when me and Rob are supposed to go on. So, because I the way that it was explained to me, I thought there was gonna be like an hour to half an hour between each debate, but I guess not. I really need to look up the news. I really need to. I need to look up the news and see what all is going on.
With the following, the tens of thousands of documents and connections in the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, President Trump was seen avoiding reporters yesterday as he continues to dismiss questions over what he's calling a hoax after the House Oversight Committee released emails sent by Epstein from 2011 to 2019, with some mentioning Trump by name.
Okay, let's. Let's look up some of the stuff about the emails. Okay. Yeah, let's look into some of this real quick because this is something that I need to know about. All right. So it says this is from Reuters. Conservative influencers defend Trump as House prepares to vote on releasing Epstein files. And the summary says Republicans released 20,000 documents, accused Democrats of cherry picking messages. House to vote on Justice Department unclassified Epstein files next week. Some prominent conservative influencers sought to downplay newly released emails from Jeffrey Epstein in which the convicted sex offender wrote that Donald Trump knew about the girls, arguing the messages were part of a broader Democratic hoax targeting the U.S. president. What's up?
So they're delivering the 5-minute closings each, and then there'll be some Q&A.
Okay.
So 15 minutes.
There's Rob. What's up, man? I'm telling you, you want to come take a seat for a minute? Or...
I know what I want to get to you.
Yeah.
Charles Kirk. Trump
Charlie.
killed him. I saw the post. So Democrats and Mr. Trump.
I did
My
say
phone's
that.
got like I did 30 seconds of prep for this. I've been helping out with the shit for tomorrow. So I was like, well, let's do some prep. So I typed in, went to your channel and hit Charlie Kirk. And I found this one. I was like, oh, that's good enough. That's good.
That works.
I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about, it's fine by me.
Okay.
So as long as it's entertaining for the audience, but I'm cool with anything. I'm
Yeah,
not going to
I
really.
asked my audience a bunch of times. I was
Are
like,
you on live now?
Yeah, we're on stream.
Hello.
So that I told them, I said, I was like, what do you guys want us to debate? They're like, you guys have already kind of debated all the things that you would debate. So yeah, I asked like 5 times over the week.
Here we got it. Let's see. This guy, he's a member. Ryan, come on, Ryan. You come up with something. We're debating upstairs. Is that what it's
Yeah,
like?
they have a pretty good setup. Too. They have like three cameras, 3 mics, all of that. So
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, look at this. Oh, that's. Oh, that's fine. No, it's fine. History, come on.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, Tom, I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too.
As long as it's something we can actually disagree. I don't want it to be something where we're like hitting around on the fringes. So
Yeah. And that's and he said, he's like, Rob said he liked the idea of you guys just kind of figuring it out once you got there. And I was like, bro, we'll have no problem finding something.
I start shit with Charlie Kirk. You do Trump Epstein if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, and I even told her, I said, if you want to like throw other people in, we'll have like a 4-person panel or whatever. I was like, I'm.
Well,
down
just
to
the
debate
cloud
like
could
anything.
heckle us. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I just want to make good content. So.
Who are you staying over at the hotel, the debatecon hotel?
No, so I'm staying at. He bought a Airbnb for a bunch of us, and so we're staying there. And I don't know any of the people there. Like I didn't know them before either. One of the guys named Tyler. Apparently, he also.
Average debate drawer.
Yes.
Yeah, you could go.
And then Beth is there as well. But yeah, then Fabian's debating right now. Jake just did like Israel Palestine a minute ago. So yeah.
I wanted to get here earlier, but we're so busy with stuff happening tomorrow. And then my son had a fever.
You working with Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
What's he debating?
He's debating Christianity versus Islam and then Christianity versus secular humanism.
What's he debating?
What's his name? Kirkachu and I forget the other guy's name. 8 or something. I'm not trying to be rude if those people are listening. I just forget because I prepped 7 debates. So Andrew is debating Richard Carrier. And the other guy is Kirkachu. Here's a little secret. I don't really do the religious debates.
That used to be when I first came into the space. That was I did apologetics and left religion. So
it's not Pikachu, but that's what they have it written as. Let's see if I can- yeah, well, anyway, someone like that. Christianity or Islam, who's better for society? That's the headline debate tomorrow night. And then the following night's Carrier. So it should be fun. It's kind of nice not debating there, if I'm honest. I just relax.
yeah, I talked to James and he said that he's like we just don't. He's like we're not doing politics. I was like,
Well, that's
weird.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I mean, I think he's changed his mind a little, maybe for the next year.
Yeah, he said that he's gonna start doing it.
Well, I was like,
I just did a panel on there like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I said it might be cool to do like one day's religious debates, one day's political. But I mean, if you got enough people interested in the religious debates, I debated Christian nationalism the other day. I'm not very comfortable with it because I am Christian, but I'm bad at it. I'm a bad Christian. And I don't want to speak for other people on religion. Politics is one thing. Religion's borderline
Do
blasphemous.
you call yourself Christian now? You used to always say like I'm like spiritual or
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I would consider myself non-denominational Christian previously, but I started going to a Catholic church. So my son's in preschool at a Catholic school, and it's the church and school that my wife grew up. So I started going to church there.
Do you have an opinion on the sola scriptura? No.
Nope. I've talked to both sides of it, but I haven't done like my own looking into it. And at this point, I feel like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
not
we
my
talked to
place.
Josh about it for a little bit.
Yes, it's not my place. What's up, Jim? We're stream. We're trying to figure out what to debate. Any suggestions? Look at this guy. It's your roomie. How you doing, man? How's it going?
Oh, I had to stand up for
Winning debates. So you lost. Oh, yeah. Good, man. That's great. Yeah. You're going to be there tomorrow, right?
We're not going to go to our call. So we're going to do like a debate meeting, by the way. Fabian, Liberty, and myself.
Yeah. I'll be out tomorrow night at the bar crawl, but I'm here with my wife and family, so we're gonna Sunday night. I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably just chill out.
We're gonna next year. We're gonna go to church on Sunday.
Yeah. We got tickets to the zoo.
But if you decide that you don't want to go drinking and you want to have some other recreation, that's what we'll do.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I'll be drinking though.
Oh, there's
What's that?
Billy Bob.
I'm doing that. It's not a bad idea. What time is it? We're supposed to start at 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what they have.
Yeah, do your thing. I'm gonna close this up. See you. Did Trump change his mind on the H-1B? Somebody said the other day on one of the callers called it and said he changed his mind. And yeah, I didn't. I thought that he was wrong, so I just told him he was wrong. He just accepted it. What's the? I forget the guy's name. He's here. He does a bunch of panels with Andrew Wilson, and it's like Billy Bob or. I'm blanking on his name. Jim Bob, made by Jim Bob. Yeah, he's here. I don't know if Andrew's here. Oh no, they just said Andrew.
Yes, you are. Just here. Next to me.
There's a bunch of chatters here. So they come in and they say like, oh yeah, I'm this person. Oh my goodness, that's you. It's funny. He's advocating for 50,000 Chinese people on H-1B. Well, so Trump has always been pro H-1B. If you remember, that was the whole controversy when Trump and Elon were both pro H-1B visas. And so when you say he changed his mind, what did he change his mind on? What changed? Can't hear me? Crap. You should be able to hear me. Crap, this got all tangled up.
Where did Boss get?
I was surprised I was telling. Hold on.
So I would see it. What right here? He goes.
Crap. I pulled this out earlier. And now I can't get it back in. Okay, there we go. Okay. I was telling everybody earlier that the Fabian Liberty is he's like 6'5", 6'6". Like he's actually insanely tall. I was very surprised to see him in person and see how really tall he is. I hear a lot of yelling in your words intermittently. Yeah, it just got a lot louder in here. So for the most of the stream, it's been pretty good, but just got a lot louder. Just a little bit. There's one guy here who's screaming the whole time. Like every time he talks, he he's screaming. And I even told him earlier, I was like, hey, you can come sit down. He's like, nah, you don't want to do that. Like, I'm going to blow everybody's ears out. It's like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I did. I tweeted out a little while ago. I said, if I said that everybody wants to like cope and say that Charlie Kirk's death is Democrats' fault, but if we're being honest, it's Trump's fault. And that it was a tweet that popped off pretty well. So he showed me the screenshot on his phone of me saying that. But I am like when it comes to Rob, I'm always worried about like just he'll bring up random innocuous things that I've never heard of before, and to not be able to like actually look stuff up while we're sitting there, it's going to be harder to kind of deal with if I can't fact check everything in the middle of debating. And so yeah, that's the only part that I'm really worried about. Get drunk and yell at people, Tom? Nah, bro. Fabian has always sounded just like Rob Norton. What do you mean sounded like him? Like they have a similar voice, or do you mean that he has like similar takes, or what? I don't know what that means. That he sounded like him. In what way? Similar voice? Huh. I don't think they sound at all like. I guess they both do have like raspy voices to an extent, but they sound drastically different to me. So. Yeah, I saw Rachel Wilson here. I don't see Andrew yet. Yeah, no, earlier I had everything kind of like turned to where it shouldn't be picking other people up, but now everybody's moved inside. So I gotta plug my phone up to a charger though, because it is gonna die here soon. Yeah, I talked to him for a little bit. What? No, he was just walking around talking to people just a minute ago. I think he went to just sit down and eat. Brett, I gotta find my charger. My phone's about to die. Okay, here it is. You could always just make shit up on the spot. Yeah, anything that I don't know about, it's probably best if I just argue confidently that that's wrong and that that never happened. It's probably the best route to go. Be like, nope, no, you're wrong. That never happened. You never said that. Yeah. Just try that. Oh, that does not work. Close enough. This light, let me see if I plug it back in. No. Yeah, it's still pretty bright. It's better. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down and get ready to debate. So I'll restart stream whenever I get back on. We'll restart the stream with the debate on. So that should happen. So, all right, appreciate y'all coming, hanging out, and watching. And I'll, I might even do a stream later on after the debate too. Like I said, I might have people come debate. Might do some IRL streams, just talking to people. We'll see. But all right, later, guys.